Welcome back, Sergeant Tony Joe. So we are continuing with your testimony, and just a reminder also that you are still under oath. So you continue to tell the truth and to answer the questions that are asked. I'm handing you over to Commissioner Vidot for his questions.
Okay, good afternoon, sir. Okay, would I be right in saying that you were one of the trusted officers of CP George?
Vous voulez dire que vous êtes parmi les bons officiers qui commissionnaire George si on a confiance là-dedans?
Une question quoi?
Est-ce que commissionnaire est correct pour dire que vous êtes parmi les bons officiers qui commissionnaire George si on a confiance là-dedans? Vous êtes capable de trust tout? I would not know.
So, how would you describe your interaction with her?
Comment alors est-ce que vous décrire une interaction que vous habituez avec lui?
Moi, te dis, pas il est pas qui commissionnaire pour prison.
Vous te dites pas qualité?
Moi, te dis pas il est pas qui commissionnaire de prison qui là.
I treat her like any commissioner of prison.
Did you look at her in the same way that you looked at, let's say, CP Saint-Ange?
Est-ce que tu regardes en même façon que peut-être tu get Monsieur Saint-Ange, le commissionnaire?
No.
No.
Okay. Because you found there was a difference between the way CP Saint-Ange managed the prison. 1 minute. When you said there was no discipline and the manner in which CP George run the prison, when you felt there was more discipline, or she was trying to instill more discipline in the prison.
À cause on trouve qu'il y a une différence dans la façon que ça qui amène les autres prisons. Le fait qu'on dit qu'avec CP George, il peut essayer d'amener un peu de discipline de prison.
Yes, il y a un commissionnaire qui amène beaucoup de discipline.
Yes, she's a commissioner that emphasize a lot on discipline.
Would you say that she was running the prison in a way that she was trying to implement a policy of correctional prison?
Est-ce que vous dites que tu peux essayer d'amener sa prison in a way to implement what, my lord?
Correctional.
Okay.
That is to...
Pour amener sa prison de façon que tu peux comme si corriger quelque chose à longueur du temps?
Non, envers ban prisonnier.
Ah, qui c'est comme si des formes correction, comme si il m'a dit là avec ban arrestant prisonnier.
Tu mets prison par discipline.
He placed the prison under discipline.
That was not my question. My question was different.
Son question est différente en rapport avec ban prisonnier, il peut faire référence avec.
Pour les moments, ça m'a pas beaucoup cause les wa prisonniers m'ont pas là.
At the moment, that answer I cannot provide because when she is seeing the prisoners one-on-one, I'm not there.
No, because you're talking about the policy she implemented, which was different. Like maybe CP Saint-Ange was more on rehabilitation side.
À cause d'une dit que police qui peut implémenter différent, peut-être M. Saint-Ange c'est plus le côté réhabilitation.
Et le côté plus discipline, on peut dire.
She's focused more on the
discipline
side.
Le côté le inmates discipline.
With regards to the inmates also discipline.
Well, so would you agree or that CP Saint-Ange was more for rehabilitation of the inmates?
Vous êtes d'accord que M. Saint-Ange, commissionnaire Saint-Ange, si met de l'emphase plus envers réhabilitation des prisonniers?
Réhabilitation, toujours là.
Rehabilitation was always there.
Okay. And would you say that Inspector Ivan was one of the trusted officers as well?
Est-ce que vous dites que les officiers Ivan tiennent parmi les officiers qui commissionnaire tiennent en confiance là-dedans aussi?
No, CP George had. It was
commissionnaire George tiennent en confiance là-dedans?
Moi pas vous connais.
I would not know.
you didn't observe the way maybe that her relationship with Inspector Ivan was such that she trusted him?
Ou pas observe la façon qui tu fait envers les officiers Ivan qui donne l'impression qu'il tient en confiance dans lui. Treated him like because he's in charge of security.
Okay. And during the time that Mr. George was CP, do you know how many times did Inspector Ivan got a promotion?
Pendant le temps que commissionnaire George si commissionnaire, est-ce que vous connaissez combien de promotions Monsieur Ivan a gagné?
Des fois.
2 times.
2 times. Okay. And what about yourself? Did you get any promotion?
Vous-même, est-ce que tu as gagné aucune promotion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Now, let's go back to the event of the 5th of December. Okay. Initially, when you were telling us about what happened, what you saw, and what you experienced, you left out the part where you said C.I. Radegon was held hostage, and then he was released by the prisoners.
Je vais donner l'évidence on dit ça bout côté si a regardé qu'on a un point tinga été ni otage pas dans prison hier qui après tinga lagué.
Il pas dit ça, l'état tu peux donner son évidence, c'est ce qu'on laisse demandé.
Oh, pas dit ça bout c'est là dit sorry, tu peux donner l'évidence de ce qui bout tinga demandé concernant ça. Est-ce que ça est correct?
Correct.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So that was a part of the evidence you omitted deliberately from telling the court?
Alors, est-ce que ça est partie l'évidence qu'on a volontairement évité pour dire avec la cour?
Yes, mon pas de magie, cause tout beaucoup de temps. Papier.
I did not recall that particular part because it's been a long time.
Mr. Tony Joe, it's been just over a year, and most of the people have come before this commission to testify remember quite well what happened on that day. And you telling me you don't remember what happened just over a year ago?
Ça, l'incident arrive à peu près un an passé. Et la majorité des gens qui viennent donner l'évidence devant la commission, ils rappellent ça qui n'est arrivé. Ou peut dire, ou pas rappeler quelque chose qui n'est arrivé à peu près un an passé.
Moi, rappelle pas tout, imagine.
I recall, but not everything.
Oh, okay. You said at one point you went inside the prison.
On dit qu'il y a un point où tu as dans la prison.
Yes, mon Charlie, je m'appelle tout bien.
Okay.
Yes, I went, but then I came back down.
Okay, before we go there, did you notice any ambulance or medics around at the prison at the time that C.I. Radegon was released?
Ça l'est que si I Radegon tu gagnes là, est-ce que tu remarques aucune ambulance, aucun djimoun, ban officier médical qui est là dans les alentours?
Non, pas non.
No, I did not see.
Did you at any point notice any ambulances or medics around the prison?
Est-ce que vous avez aucun point où tu remarques ça, ban djimoun médical ou bien l'ambulance dans la prison?
No.
No.
But you said you stayed at the prison up till about 5 a.m. before you left home. That is 5 a.m. on the 6th. But most of the testimonies we've had has revealed that there were medics and ambulances around.
On dit que tu restais côté prison jusqu'à le grand matin. Les 6 comme si tu as le côté grand matin, qui on dit que tu arrives 6 heures. Mais seulement dans l'évidence qui nous a donné avant ça, là, dans la commission, il a fait ressortir qui tient les officiers médicaux, tels qui parlent l'ambulance aussitôt qui est une station là, côté prison, ça va être qui ça va nécessiter d'arriver. Mais vu qu'on restait jusqu'à ça, les kunji, ou pas voir ni un.
Non, mon pas moi.
No, I did not see.
Fire, non, mon pas nu.
Maybe there was, but I did not see.
You are a security officer who said you didn't stay long in the prison when you went inside the mail block. You didn't stay long. You went back. And at the prison at that time, there were a lot of medics. There were ambulances, because even Esayagade Gond told us that he was transported. Once he was released, he was transported because there was an ambulance there. So you mean to tell us you don't remember whether there were ambulances or you didn't see?
I cannot recall.
No, see we just
Follow-up question.
Yeah, please.
You are a senior prison officer, right? Earlier on, you said you were instructed by your boss, your superior, Inspector Ivan, to watch the perimeter, right? So, because remember the part where we said, what instructions did he give you? And you said he gave you the instructions to watch the perimeter. And so, which means you were watching. There is nothing that came that day which you didn't see, because your job was to watch what comes in and what comes out. Correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. In all this, was any officer injured?
Dans tout ça, là, il y a quelque chose d'arrivé. Il y a aucun officier qui est blessé.
Yes.
And how serious were the injuries? They were serious or minor?
Tu sais, il y a un blessé ou bien un petit blessé mineur.
Mon pas beaucoup ne. Son mot c'est dit,
I would not know, but I was told that there was. But I did not see.
You are watching the perimeter and you are saying, yes, some people, and in this case, wardens, were injured. So you would not have seen ambulances coming into the same perimeter you're supposed to be watching.
Maybe where I was, since the prison is quite big.
Okay.
You said the prison is a big place. How come some people who are not even security officers, okay, managed to see that there were ambulances around, there were medics around, and you as a security officer just went blind when these things happened?
Comment les autres gens qui partis officiers prison incapables de voir position dans l'ambulance et ou qui comme si semblait qu'il y a quelque chose qui peut arriver complètement pas voir.
La doit que prison est grand. La doit que l'ambulance civile, l'ambulance extérieure, l'ambulance pas là bas.
Because of the place where I was situated, the prison is quite large. The ambulance did not come all the way to the top. It stayed at the bottom.
You said that the ambulance stayed up, didn't come down. So you were aware that there were ambulances?
Non, je peux expliquer que fakut mon poétis. Moi pour moi que fakut mon poétis à moment l'état. Mon papa wa, les moments vinn prison, mon pas dans l'ambulance.
No, I'm explaining to you that since I'm saying things that I saw, given my current position where I was at that time, I did not see any ambulance. Maybe it came, but I cannot recall. I did not see where I was, from where I was.
Qui m'ont pour demander, c'est qui outil dit qu'il est temps où on entre dans la prison, on peut amasser l'information, on peut gagner beaucoup d'informations.
Yes.
Okay.
You said that when you entered inside the prison, you were receiving a lot of information, yes?
Et outil dit pour dire on peut gagner l'information depuis côte gate 1.
And you said that you were getting the information since from gate 1.
C'est correct ça outil dit?
Is that correct?
Get one information, mon gars, il est mon entrée, oui.
Oui, ok.
Get one
Fini entrer.
information, I got it
Oui,
as
donc,
I was
il y a masse
entering.
d'informations là. Tout le monde peut donner une information.
Control peut de moi. Ça n'est pas qui de moi.
Contrôle il donne nous.
The control
This
and the
control peut de
Nepali
l'information.
Contrôle peut
was
donne nous.
giving me the information.
Get one, il donne contrôle.
Get one, il donne control, oui.
Get one gives information to control, yes.
Contrôle, il donne Tony Joe.
Pas tout qui peut de moi.
Not
il est pas
all
tout
the
bien
information
occupé,
Oui,
is
mais
given
il
to me
peut de moi,
afterwards.
ça client, non, mais si il pas de moi. Oui, mon pépin. Si dit, mon bé, c'est Jen. Si dit, mon fait, il y en a l'abondance. Oui, mon pas dire, mais si pas dit, moi. Il dit, moi, quelque chose qui passe dans la prison, qui peut arriver.
Ok.
Il pas dit, moi, c'est l'ambulance, combien de transport qui est entré.
Mon père,
Yes,
il est pas-
if, for example, he did not mention the ambulance pad, then that's it. The information was received. I was told information, but nothing was given to me with regards to the ambulance or vehicles coming in.
Ok, mon parlerai pas avec Judge Melchior dans la police. Qui mon PC dit ou mon c'est répète encore ou député chef sécurité prison
You are the deputy chief security of the prison.
ou peut ramasser toutes les informations qu'on peut capable gagner la sécurité ou prison.
You are receiving all the information that you can with regards to the security of the prison.
Ou peut dire moi pour dire ou pas gagner aucune information lequel qui partait ça veut dire n'importe qui dit monde qui capable entrer dans prison ça l'air ou pas pour connaître.
So you're saying that you did not get any information with regards to, so that means everyone can enter inside prison, anyone, you would not be aware.
Par exemple, pour dire, get one. Il a son bout qui fait. Le get one, les transports pour get one. Pas pour call, pour dire, c'est John. Les transports sont entrés là. Il a son recall, il a son bout qui peut faire.
Get one,
Oui,
they
il donne
have
l'information control. So, mon control, pas pour dire, moi, dit.
the particular responsibility. For example, Get One would not pick up the phone and call me and say, Sergeant Tony Joe, whatsoever vehicle is coming in, they would give that information to control, but it does not necessarily mean that control would tell me every information.
But your testimony is that there's a riot happening at the prison. So surely when there's a riot happening at the prison, security is on high alert, isn't it?
Il y en a un riot côté prison sécurité, niveau sécurité, il y a alerte, non? Banal, alerte qui est pas pareil l'habitude.
So if the security is on high alert, because if an ambulance comes or a vehicle that looks like an ambulance comes, it can get prisoners out, isn't it? So if the security is on high alert, it has to authorize every vehicle that comes in and that goes out.
Alors, si
And your job, as per the instructions you were given, is to watch the perimeter. Because this is what you told us. You told us that you were given an instruction to watch over the area and make sure that nothing comes in and nothing goes out that you don't see. So we have not just witnesses, but we have official records. Official records that show that there were medics and ambulances on the scene. Should we then find out in the course of this investigation that you are deliberately not telling the truth, that can potentially be a problem for you.
See, that's true, fight talk.
Yeah, so I think we need to take that question again and give you an opportunity to respond to it properly in the context of the evidence you have given that you were there to watch that whole perimeter. That's the instruction you were given. So how come you did not see ambulances that got in and got out?
Maybe the position from where I was not able to see.
So you were in a position where some vehicles could come in and go out without you seeing them?
Avec du des positions qui transportent, on est capable de entrer après sortir au coup parti pour.
Non, à cause du transport entrée sortie, il faut les get one qui pourra.
No, yeah.
Par exemple, sécurité prison est vraiment bas.
No, because vehicles coming in and out, this is the responsibility of Gate 1. They would be the one to see that because the security at the prison was low.
C'est là. Tu en as l'opération que tu peux passer ça l'état de prison. OK? Une grosse opération, pas de problème. Et dans cette opération, ou comme en sécurité, ou tu aussi capable de réaliser pour dire que tu es capable d'un accident dans la prison. Avec inmates, avec la force de sécurité. Vous d'accord avec moi?
Would you agree with me that
Yes.
there was an operation
Oui, bien.
that was being undergone at the prison and you are responsible for security of the prison?
Si un dimoun tu viens kotou, tu dis pour dire André, il gagne un grand blessé dans son lit-pied. Qu'est-ce que tu peux faire?
If someone
Typical
came to
control
you
room.
and said that Andre has suffered from a big injury in his leg, what would you do? I would go to control.
Moi, tu peux call control room.
Oui.
I would
Ou tu
call
peux dire
them,
control
sorry.
room.
Moi, tu peux dire dans Edimoun.
I would say that there is someone
Moi, tu peux dire call l'ambulance.
En
who
prison,
has that injury to
Non,
call the
moi, tu dis faire
ambulance.
procédure l'ambulance.
I will
Pour
tell
moi,
them to make the
Lui, tu
procedure
peux
for
dire,
the
mais l'ambulance,
ambulance.
il a. Pour moi, mais ça veut
Control
dire
would
ça,
then
il
tell
pas
me
venu devant moi, pour moi.
that the ambulance is there present,
judge.
but this was not put to my attention.
Si tu en as, ça qui est arrivé. Quand tu peux dire, moi, à cause, quand tu connais nos systèmes prison, pas toutes les formations qui vont gagner. Il faut des mots qui ont des formations.
Because
Prison.
our system at the prison, the
Prison.
way it is,
Son système, il y a pour le système, on peut dire, il y a des ordres.
it's a bit
Franchement, il y a des ordres.
of a mess. I would have to go and sort out the information, seek the information. I will
Papa,
not receive all.
répète ça encore qu'on dit là. Quoi qui arrive, qui prison il fait, son système fonctionne qui
Système
fait.
l'opération, ça moment le temps,
Qui fait.
comme si tu étais en désordre.
The
Comme si ça
operating
tu fais
system
pour lui.
of the
Par
prison
exemple,
at that time was a
par
bit
exemple, ou bien faire au mieux pour ça quelque chose marcher.
messy, and
Pour moi.
each one was doing their own part, so you have to do your part to make things work.
So what you're telling us now is that when CP George was in charge of the prison, things were not working perfectly. I put it mildly. Yeah, it was in a mess.
Ça qu'on peut essayer de dire, alors, c'est que- No,
That's exactly what you just told us. That's exactly what you've just told us.
Je vais expliquer bien.
let me explain
Pour
well
bien que je comprenne.
for you to understand properly.
I don't want you to be condescending because I understood what you said. I understood perfectly well what you said.
It's a problem. You just said the situation was a mess, right? That's the word you used to describe this. You said each person was doing their own thing, and you just have to do your own part. This is a minute ago when you said this. A minute later, you want to deny that, and you said, "No, I didn't say that."
Les mots peut dire ça là. Je vais expliquer à comment il est. Si les mots disent MS, il faut les expliquer
When I'm saying that,
pour
like,
comprendre à cause ça
when
quelque
I
chose.
said it was a
Comme ça.
mess, I will need to have to explain for you to understand why it was the way it was.
À cause, si vous parlez question, on ne pas expliquer là, on ne pas comprendre qui peut y arriver.
If I just
Vous
answer
expliquez comment c'est comment il y a ça quelque chose.
and
Comment.
do not provide explanation, you would not understand how things happen.
Comment?
I have to explain.
Actually, you gave an explanation earlier
Yes,
on.
oui,
Yeah, you
oui,
gave an
oui,
explanation.
CMS.
Yeah, even after you explained, you said there was no coordination.
No coordination.
Yeah, exactly. So you gave us
Yes,
the
no
explanation.
coordination.
We don't
Serious?
need a further explanation.
No coordination.
So there was no
No.
coordination.
Yeah.
Yes
Faut des mots
or
qui
no?
wodi.
I will have to go and seek out.
Faut des mots qui
myself.
wodi. Si mon papier wodi, moi
Did
pour
you-
gagner.
If I'm not seeking
Sergeant,
out information, I will not receive them.
did you say there was no coordination?
Yes, he said.
Did you say that?
With prison?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm sure, yes. No coordination with prison.
Do you know, that is consistent with what you have been saying since morning. You remember this, the exchange we had about, searching contraband? You found serious contraband in prison, but there was no coordination between those who work inside the prison and U.S. security to inform each other that this is contraband we found. No one was disciplined for having brought or kept contraband in prison, as far as you know. So that is consistent. So we don't know why you are jittery when you say there was no coordination. Things were messy. That's what you have been saying throughout. Unless you feel like you need to not say those words because then we want to know why. Are you uncomfortable about saying things as they are?
Est-ce que vous pensez confortable pour dire quelque chose comment il était, comme si par rapport avec la situation en prison à ça l'état?
Non, c'est quelque chose qui va vous dire oui mal.
No, if there's something that's wrong, I will tell you.
Si t'as pas coordination,
Then there was no coordination.
There was no coordination.
There was no coordination. It was a mess. That's what you said.
Okay. And going back to the ambulances that were at the prison. Normally when an ambulance will be coming to a place, they will have sirens on. Okay? It will make a noise. You agree with me? So when the ambulances are going up Montagne Posée to the prison, because it's an emergency, they will have sirens on.
Vous d'accord que normalement l'ambulance si un cas urgent, il pour besoin mettre ça sirène là que t'entends faire tapage là toute la journée. Yes.
But you didn't hear any sirens, you didn't see any flashing lights.
C'est moi pas dans aucun sirène ou pas voir aucune lumière.
Transport la police dans la lumière, les bons passent.
But the vehicles
les bons descendent, transport la police qui là. Tu dans la lumière.
When I descended, the police vehicles that was there was lights.
When you went down where? When you went down where? At what time?
Là tu descends côté qui est là?
Devant 7h.
Around 7.
7h comme après. Pas tout imaginer, sur ma bonne les
I don't really recall.
Qui les bottes sortir les bottes descendre là-bas.
When I came from upstairs and went downstairs.
Si on peut dans contrôle. On va pouvoir l'ambulance venir.
Because if I am in the control room, I will not see the ambulance automatically, not even the noise.
Moi, président coûte mon moitié, moi peut demander des formations, coûte mon moitié. Pour moi, comme si dans le control room, il y a un bureau là, comme si ensemble, sur moi il y a un bureau qui là.
From where I was when I was asking information and inside the control room,
there's another office.
Together with control room,
inspector
it's the office of the inspector Ivan. I was there in that office.
You said
I was in that office.
That office.
You said you had officers at all the towers. Earlier on you said that. Okay? And they were feeding you information.
Yeah.
You mean none of your officer told you that ambulances were on the scene?
Towers pas pour dire ça.
No,
Get one qui pour dire.
Get one would be the one to inform of such.
Chacun a son part.
The towers would not say that.
Control.
Each one has their work, assigned work.
Oh, okay. Gate 1, you are security officer. They never informed you about that?
Il peut inform control. Control qui pour connaître.
They would inform the control. The control would be made aware.
Moi pas pour connaître moi. Si la bidon civil quelque chose de prison pas pour connaître.
This is the way things
work. Mon cas demander.
If the ambulance came or whatsoever, it would be I
who
would be the one who will need to go and ask.
Faut des mots qui demandent.
I will need to ask.
You are in the control room, yes?
Yeah.
You went to look for information. in front of you, you've got different screens.
Yeah.
Yes? Now, working CCTVs at the prison are the ones from Gate 1, the area where the ambulances are parked. There are CCTVs up there. Am I right?
Yes, Your Honor, oui.
Okay.
Yes, there are.
Now, you are sitting in the control room and
At the office.
and the screens are
The office.
one after another,
The control room.
focusing on the different
Yes, yes, yes.
CCTVs. So you are there inside the control room,
Yeah.
looking for information, and you don't see any ambulances parked outside in the area of the prison.
Well, aquele monde qui était là pour... Non, on va pouvoir. À cause, je vais expliquer bien. Quand moi était, les premiers fight, dans sa control room là, il y a un air office là. C'est moi, il y a ensemble. Les gens pour l'endroit. Il peut avoir des informations. Il peut dire, c'est genre, en battle, qu'est-ce que c'est pour moi?
While I'm inside the control room, there
Yeah.
are another office there. There is another office there, and I was in that office. And as I am there, the information would be coming in, and they would be
Put
like,
information pour moi.
Sergeant, such and such is happening.
Early on, when Commissioner Thiel asked you, you said that you were watching the screens, and now you say
Information.
one minute, one
I
minute,
was
one
taking
minute.
information.
You are watching the screens, and now you're telling us that somebody else will have to feed you that information, even if you're watching the screens and seeing what is happening.
Avec Dieu qui malgré peut guetter l'écran ou même ou le sabon screen qui peut arriver et le dit monde qui peut besoin venir dire qui peut arriver aussi.
Non.
No.
Mais c'est si il dit moi, les moments de control, on prend l'information. On pas dire mon get le screen, on prend l'information.
Mr. Chiron told me that when I
On
went
prend
to
l'information,
control,
on pas dire mon get le screen.
I took the information. I did not say anything
On prend
about looking
l'information.
on the screen. I
Bon
was taking
l'information qui peut
information.
arriver, on prend bonne information.
Taking
Après mon là même là
information.
moi, d'habitude mon là même en là.
And then I was there. I remained there.
La
Pas voir
screen.
devant ou the control room, ou pas voir devant ou ban screen.
You do not see in front
No,
of you
why?
the screens.
Pas
No.
voir.
Non.
Bien à cause.
You do not see, but
Non,
why?
bien comme d'habitude,
Because I'm
Oui,
in
mais
that
qu'on a fait
office.
de sa bureau.
tout pour moi.
Because I'm in that office. You understand?
Yeah, but my question to you, Sergeant, you are in the control room, and then you take yourself, you put yourself in a small room at the back, and you hide yourself there for people to give you information where you are sitting inside there. You've got the whole set of cameras in front of you for you to get information. Why do you go inside this little room to wait for information to come to you?
Ou tiens ça tout ça ben l'écran qui est là dans control room là qui est disponible pour capable de l'eau là pour voir qui peut arriver à cause que pour aller dans ça l'office quand on dit là bas quand on pas pour connaître rien qui dit monde pour venir dire au présent qui peut arriver.
Ça veut dire il pour sécurité.
This office belongs to
Pour
the
sécurité.
security.
Si il y a quelque chose que le côté sécurité, ça dit mon il peut répondre avec moi. Il peut
If
dire
there's
moi.
anything that happens with regards to the security, that person inside there would relate the
Ça même
information.
ça dit mon il là.
That's why the person is there.
Security office.
Is for the security.
Chief Inspector, Security Office.
Okay. Are there screens in that office?
No.
Okay. So the
Mother door is open. So mother
Okay.
office is difficult. Si you not comme si ou pas pégueté ou pas connaît, moi il vient quand il la porte là. Il est la porte.
Because there is a door in that control room.
Pour ça la
and
table était faut de ou lever pour comme si à la porte moi il était faut de ou lever pour aller pour trouver.
the way the
Si ou
door,
bien assisé là ou pas pour trouver ça cause il vient sa borde il vient border ou pas pouvoir. So moi ça dit mon si il peut causer pas ici il causer connaître des informations comme
the way the door is, and there is a board, some sort of the way the area is, you will not
Ako
be able to
mga
see
detail
if you are
nila.
seated down. You will have to stand up for you
c'est
to
ça
be
va mon
able
vin
to
là.
see.
Je vais dire là pour pelita.
Because I went there pour faire
You are
quoi?
sent inside the guard room I mean, inside the control room.
Yes.
Okay. Now, do you know what's the purpose of a control room?
Yes.
Tell us, what is the purpose
The
of a
control room qui voit partout, tout bonne l'information.
It's
Okay.
a room
They
that
pick up
allows you
information.
to see everywhere to get information.
Okay. They pick up information. And then what do they do with this information?
Toute l'information, il gagne documenté dans OBI.
Everything is documented in the
Okay,
occurrence
Ruby?
book.
So all the information, they get the information
Oui, mais
and they
document.
write it in a book.
Oui.
And that's it.
Yes.
Filias. Toute l'information, il gagne dans l'occurrence, toute quelque chose qui peut arriver.
Everything
Give me the
that's
documents.
happening
Okay,
is placed
that's it.
in the occurrence book.
Now, if there is an incident taking place inside the prison and the cameras are picking different scenes, we just take it and put it in the book and close the book. That's it.
Non.
What do we do with this
Duty
information?
officer.
Huh?
Il y a un tuto officer qui passe.
There is
You
the
know,
duty
you know,
officer
a
that
duty
passes
officer.
by.
Yeah, but when does the duty officer come to pick up all of this information?
Les l'incident, des tuto officer, les tuto officer sont bout. L'équipe ne passe pas à toute situation.
Duty officer, his part is the one responsible to go everywhere to look at the
Il
situation.
pas tombe le moment
So
pour la pour l'information.
I think it's one of those episodes again in our testimony where we need to get the story. So I'm going to ask you questions that I need you to say yes or no. Right? You were in the control room. Are there screens in the control room which pick signals and show you things that are moving around the area you're watching, correct? Did you watch them?
Non.
No.
You did not watch them. Okay. Are you supposed to watch them?
Suppose pe gete sa ban
Are you supposed to watch the screens?
Si moi je peux guetter.
Oui.
Oui, il tombe le mot de moi capable passer mon guetter un coup, mon guetter après on pas pour
Yes, I can pass by and look
No,
at it, but
no,
I
no,
would
no,
not
no,
stay
no,
there,
no, no.
remain
Let me ask you the question again. Are you required to watch these screens when you are the guard in charge in the control room? Are you required to watch the screens?
Si ou sa gade ki pe an sas da control room la, eski yu louvas pou pe bezwe get sa screen tout la zone?
si moi non pas ça de control room.
Non, non, il pa pe di ou li, mais se manye di moun ki
No.
la an da. No,
You're not required.
Non.
no.
So what is their purpose?
Pe ki zot ou la lo sa ki la an da control room.
Le control room, il y a un monde qui en charge control room. Moi, pour passer, je prends l'information, après, moi, pour faire passer l'information, après, il vient. Ça dit, monde qui est en charge de control room.
The control room, in the control room, there is
Il y en
someone
a,
that is in
sont qui monde qui est en
charge.
charge de control room.
I would just pass by and collect the information, but there is someone in charge of the control room.
So that has changed now, right? Because you said you were instructed to be in the control room and watch the perimeter to see what's happening in the perimeter. And then you answered this question by saying, in the control room, there are CCTV cameras, there are screens. Look, we believe that from our investigations so far, the purpose of those screens, those computers, is to help the officer watch and see what is happening around. So when you tell us that you were stationed in the control room to watch the perimeter, but you did not look at the screens, we don't understand what you are saying. Because that's the equipment you are given to watch. Yes, you are receiving information using the radio. We accept that. But you are also watching the screen, isn't it? So we don't understand why you say you did not watch the screens. But it's fine. We're just putting it to you that we don't understand. That is not coming out clearly for us. But we can go back to the story of ambulances.
Okay. One thing that you have confirmed is that the prison was in a mess around that period. Okay? And but you, as the security officer, this is an incident that happened. Everybody's on high alert. Okay? So you failed. You will agree with me. You failed in your duties in trying to acquaint yourself with necessary evidence of what was happening around the prison. You will agree with me.
Vous d'accord avec l'équipe ou comment ça depuis tes officiers ça ou pas réussi pour les unvini pour les formations qui sont nécessaires pour ramasser à ça l'état?
You failed in your duties.
Ou pas réussi de bon devoir alors le fait qu'on pas ramasser ça bonne information qui sont relevant?
No.
No.
Let's hold on there because we have some. Can you mute this part, please? Because we want to have this. So this is from the.
The vehicle out. Corporal DLC, location out with Corporal Tony Joe. 15-16 on the 5th of the 12th.
Or maybe wait. You can unmute because now we are back into the hearing. So you have to explain to him what you are reading, and then we will ask him questions about that. Yeah, you can explain to him what you are reading.
Tony, ça y a un extract qui nous tire dans occurrence book, dans OB from gate 1.
Ça y a un extrait qui est retiré de ça livre OB à côté barreau, premier barreau.
Ça le 5/12e mois 2024.
Le 5 décembre 2024.
So he's speaking Creole, so you're supposed to do it.
It was in Creole, the 5th of December 2024.
It's been a long day, right? let's start let's start again.
Okay. I'll say it in English. You understand?
Yes, it's fine.
Okay, this is an extract from the occurrence book from gate 1 on the 5th of the 12th, 2024.
Il y a un extrait qui est retiré dans le livre l'occurrence, ça le 5 décembre 2024.
Okay. 3:15 in the afternoon. Inmates came back from court, including Stephen Modo.
3h après-midi, tu as une bonne prisonnier qui retourne côté sorti de la cour, inclus Stephen Modo.
3:16, vehicle left with Caporal DLC, location out with Caporal Tony Joe.
3h16, transport y allé ensemble avec Caporal DLC. Location avec Tony Joe.
Left out, ok. 3h25.
Ah, tu as quitté, tu as gardé avec Tony Joe, sorry.
Tu quittes prison.
Tony Joe qui quitte prison.
Ensemble
So
avec.
let's take it again because this is a very
Yes.
important piece of evidence. So let's start again.
Wait. 316.
3:15.
316.
3:15. Inmates came back from court, including Stephen Modo.
3h15, ben prisonnier inclus Stephen Modo qui vient sortir en cours.
3:16, a vehicle left prison with Caporal DLC and Caporal Tony Joe.
3h16, un transport qui quitte prison ensemble avec Caporal DLC, ensemble avec Tony Joe.
Then 3:25, Stephen was moved from CTU Foxtrot to Mill Block.
Et après 3h25, Stéphane Tiga est tiré sorti côté CTU pour aller côté Mail Block.
To isolation cell.
Pour côté sa casse isolation là.
And at 18:10, CI Riaz was in the camera room or in the control room.
Et 6h10, CI Riaz li ci côté control room là bas ou soit côté camera room.
Okay, this is the information we have. Okay. Which means that when you came, it should have been CI Riaz who was in the control room.
Ça veut dire, ça l'information qui nous gagne, ou l'information qui devrait être qui est, ou nous vini après ça, CI Riaz qui tire le control room.
So this is the occurrence book, which is the official record of what is occurring in the prison. It's not us who recorded this. This was recorded.
Il livre
in the
qui
prison,
qui
right?
ça record officiel, ça qui est
So-
passé de prison par nous qui nous recordé.
So, and this is on 5 December 2024.
Ça tiré 5
Do
décembre
you confirm
2024.
these events that are here?
Pas plus imaginer si tu là.
I cannot
Pas plus
recall.
imaginer. C'est mon mon pas plus imaginer si tu là.
Okay.
If he was there, I cannot recall.
But there is,
Pas plus imaginer si tu là.
there is information about him as well. So you'll remember things about you.
The reason of this is because the occurrence book does not hold any time that Sergeant Tony Joe came back to prison.
Tu veux?
Because he states that he came back at 5 o'clock with the PSSW people, but he doesn't show in the occurrence book.
Okay. I think let's move on. Let's go back to the ambulance.
I think we've exhausted that one.
Right. Yeah.
We're not getting anywhere with him. Yeah. Okay, you didn't see any ambulance, but the prisoners or the inmates who were further down could see, I mean, that's testimonies we received, could see that there were ambulances and medics around.
Mais peut-être ou pas ne voir, mais c'est moi d'après l'évidence, les autres prisonniers qui sont là, ils sont incapables de voir qu'ils sont un petit monde médical avec l'ambulance qui sont là.
Mon pas focus là. Mon pas
But I did not.
fait si là sur mon pas
Maybe it was there, but I did.
So now maybe they were there. Okay. So you mean that the inmates who were further down were more observant than you were, so that they could see that there were ambulances and medics around. You are a security officer, but the prisoners were more alert than you were.
Ou dire que ban prisonnier qui pli à l'aide qui ou ban qui ci pli bas.
on peut dire à cause les moments descendre en bas le get 13
Okay, go ahead.
Because when I went down to get
get
13,
13 il y a un ban gars qui monté avec condamné qui injuries
Oh,
sorti de
now
moteur
we're getting there now.
pour moi sorti de moteur qui
Eh
fait
ouais.
qu'à un moment le temps qu'il est moment descendre la bien une filiale il allé le temps qui au monde passé
there were
so moi les
officers.
moment en bas il y a un ban injury qui gagne moteur la bien pas en bas li
There were injuries that were being brought up by the prison officers, but probably because the ambulance would not go all the way down,
à cause
they were being brought by the officers. I saw a few injuries passing by, but I did not see the ambulance.
côté fight côté ban l'agence d'indifférence so tu fais bloquer mais autres
Because from where the fire brigade was, the
so
agency that extinguishes fire, they had already blocked the road.
pour moi il nous a fait un tapage
You're already making a lot of noise.
Qui fait mon à cause les mon sorti aller mon descendre. On fait c'est descendre.
When I came from upstairs and I went down,
Les mon sorti
never
aller
came
mon
back.
fait c'est descendre. Mon descendre, mon la logette 7 sur bout de un couloir comme si mon début là dans là mon la logette 7.
I was next to gate 7. I
Ça
stood
va
in
l'été
the
qu'elle a bien
hallway.
fidélité. Bon l'état.
That time the ambulance had already left.
Après qu'il est mon sorti là logette 7, logette 7, mon descendre logette 13.
And then after coming from gate 7, I descended
Seulement
to gate 13.
mon l'esprit moi-même mon parti connaît il capable mon pas il capable dans style là seulement il pas connaît mon pas pour moi à
My
cause mon
mind-
peut dis focus le si n'a pas Kendi mon qui sauve vraiment mon esprit il le rabout
I was focused more on if there
par
was
exemple
anyone trying to
transport qui peut entrer qui peut sortir l'ambulance ça peut tomber le ghetto
escape, vehicles coming
capable
in,
dans tout seul
ambulances.
ouvert sa prison entière pour voir tout ça quelque chose.
This would be the
Pas tout facile,
responsibility
ça.
of gate 1 because by myself I
Comprends-moi?
would not be
Pas tout
able
facile.
to oversee the whole prison. It's not
On a quelque
easy.
chose pour
Okay.
trouver, qu'il faut focus sur la question pour trouver.
There are things that I would see and others that I would not see.
So, are we talking at the time when you were still at gate 13 before going into the prison? Was that before you went inside the prison? What you just told us about, was it before you went into the prison?
Ça a bout qu'on fait que dis nous là, tu avant que rentre en dedans de prison.
Ça bout
What you've just told us right now.
yes, but you les mon sortir les mon vino get 7. Après mon descend au get 13.
When I came from
Après mon
upstairs,
de point là.
I
Et
descended
oh,
to
même,
gate 7
avec un CI.
and then descended to gate 13 and then I was outside there with the others, the CIs.
And when you were there at that gate, was that prior to you entering into the prison?
Là, tu là bas côté barreau, tu avant que rentre dans prison ça.
Répondre question quoi?
Là, tu là bas côté barreau par une dit, tu avant que on entre dans prison.
Yeah, mon tu get 13 avant.
Yes, I was at gate
On va pas
13
trouver,
before
d'abord.
that.
So that's interesting because you said that before you entered into the prison, you saw some injured being carried out. So even before you went inside the male block of the prison, there were injuries.
Get 13 yeah.
Yeah. So when you said that the officers had to try and break the gate in order to gain access, but yet you're telling us now there were inmates that were injured and were getting out. And they were being carried out by officers. You understand me? It just doesn't sound correct, that piece of information. There's a contradiction.
Il y a une contradiction dans l'information qui on peut donner.
Les mon lo get 13. Là qui mon noir, il y en a 10 mou qui gagne blessé.
While I was at the gate
Puis
13,
pour un peu monter avec les
it
la
was
pas.
there that I saw that people were being carried up because of the injuries that they sustained.
Forget about the ambulance. We've moved past that already. You say you were at gate 13. That was even before you were able to go inside the mill block, okay? And early on in your testimony, you had told us that access to the mill block was not possible because the prisoners had locked the gates, okay, to the prison. But what you're telling us now is that even if you say the prisoners were inside and they were locked in, and that the forces couldn't get through, but yet you now tell us that you saw injured inmates being carried out. So you understand me? It doesn't make sense.
peut comprendre qui ça ce qui peut dire il pas faire ça qu'on peut dire à cause avant ça. Before that, I'm sorry, my lord, just the first part of what your question was.
Earlier, his testimony was he saw officers struggling to get into the male block prison section because the prison was locked.
Plus bonheur qui où tu vois ben officiers là ils pousser entrer dans la prison, mais après ça dans l'évidence là pas beaucoup le temps on dit que tu vois certains ben prisonniers qui peut gagner mener à cause de tu gars blessé par ben officiers. Alors sous comprend dans qui ça ce qui peut dire qui pas consistant il contradit camarade ça qu'on peut dire.
But now you are saying inmates who were injured, who were coming out of prison, being brought up. So how can they come out of a prison which you are saying is blocked?
Vous comprenez? Qui m'a hier pareil, vous pouvez dire où tu vois y en a tu peux gagner mener. Qui m'a dit une cas sorti des prisons qui d'après ou avant ça on dit tu fermé. Ben officiers tu peux essayer là de porter en dedans. Mais là où dit on oiseau peut gagner transporter que tu peux sortir en dedans.
Por exemplo, eu uma questão lá.
It's now that a question is being asked about that.
Question que por exemplo, eu uma questão lá.
It's now that you ask me a question about
No.
that.
We've asked you questions from your deposition, because what you said earlier on, it's not something that we're asking you which is new. We're just telling you that part of your evidence you've given earlier is inconsistent with the evidence you are giving now.
Nous pouvons juste dire que partie que l'évidence qu'on donne avant ça n'est pas consistant avec sa partie qu'on peut donner là.
Il y en a qui m'ont dit que les gardes peuvent sortir de la prison. Mais ça bon moment l'état que la banque garde peut sortir. Les autres sortent en dedans, les autres peuvent sortir dehors. Ils peuvent venir dehors là. Il y a un gars qui a blessé tout, peut sortir.
There was the part of the officers coming outside that I explained, and there were some of them also that had been injured at that time while they were coming out.
So,
Now we're saying officers were coming out injured. This one, just one.
so which officers were coming out injured, coming out of the prison?
Et que ça ben officiers qui veut sortir de la prison.
PSW.
At that time, PSSW.
Okay, so you say I mean what I wanted was I want to give back the mic to Commissioner Vidot. I just wanted to say, you see, when we ask you, sometimes we ask you the same question 3 times because we want to find the truth. So what is happening here, I just want to make sure that I'm being fair to you, to flag it out to you throughout this record, that what is happening with you is every time you are asked questions, you give 2 different responses. And that's not good for you. You remember the first part, we were trying to get you to tell the story, your own version of what happened. Right? Then we said, now we are going to ask you questions based on the version that you told us. So what he is saying is, and he is correct, you never told us, when you were telling us your version of what happened, you never told us that you saw anyone injured coming out. In fact, you also never saw ambulances. So you never saw ambulances. You never saw anyone coming out injured. Now you are saying, I saw inmates coming out injured, right? But you also said earlier on, the prison was blocked. The police officers who were trying to get in were struggling. That's the word you used, struggling to get in because it was blocked. So we find it difficult to understand how police officers are struggling to get into the prison section, but at the same time, inmates who are injured are being removed from the same prison section. So that's an area of inconsistency. We have asked you over and over again. You keep saying this and that. So I think I will hand over back to you, but we record that as an area, another area of inconsistency.
Okay. So you saw inmates that were injured?
Tu ne vois ban prisonnier qui est blessé.
Mon was this end.
Only one.
Qu'il est mon mot là, this end qui nous a tiré. Bon.
The time that I was there, only one was removed.
Mon pas guetter souvent sur petit bout avec.
I did not.
Explique mon peut expliquer quelque chose qui m'a trouvé.
I'm explaining things
Seulement,
that
moi
I
pas
saw.
exactement tout ça là. Mais là, au premier mon question. Pour moi, là qui m'a pour imaginer moi peut expliquer qui est, mon arrive en bas, qui est qui m'a trouvé qui sorti.
Recall exactly what
Il capable
happened.
encore dire mon qui sorti.
Questions.
Sur le moment, on peut pas imaginer tout ça là. Mais souvent là au premier mon question. Là qui m'a pour imaginer tiens dit mon qui sorti.
So one question would
Pour
be
ça il
asked,
passé ça.
to
Tout ça
me.
le temps, on pas imaginer, on a une activité qui passe devant moi.
That is when that I would
Respecter, et je pas imaginer ça présenter depuis commencement jusqu'à finition.
that is when
Bon.
information
Par exemple, control
would
room, c'est Madame Tina. On pas imaginer,
Monsieur
beaucoup le temps.
Vous pouvez aller payer dehors là. Oui. Yes, for example, if about the incident itself, I would not recall exactly what happened to the letter, but as and when questions are being asked to me, that's when it will jog up memory and I would remember things because the prison is so large. This thing happened a while ago and I'm unable to remember everything to the letter the way it happened.
But earlier on, when you asked about inmates who were injured, you gave the impression that there were several inmates injured. But now, again, your story changes. You say only one.
À cause avant ça, tu me demandes concernant ban prison, il y a un dit que tu ne vois les autres types de transportés pour monter. Et là, un sens encore là, on dit que tu as dans this end qu'on voit.
Parole qui m'ont dit, là, mon le get 13, garde pessoa au tchanda.
What I said was that when I was at
Garde
gate
pessoa au
13,
da prison, pe vindeo.
police
Garde
officers was
kitchen
coming from inside the
If
prison,
you-
coming outside.
Pessoa
So
deo.
these officers were inside the mail block?
Yes, pessoa deo.
Yes, coming outside
Ça
from
qui m'a dit
inside the
d'aller,
mail
mon
block.
petit
So
pessoa
if,
deo.
if you say that you saw, you were at the gate and you saw officers coming out of the main mail block, but yet early on you just told us that they were having difficulty getting into the mail block because the gates were locked.
Pois é,
Vous comprenez à cause le bonheur où tu dis qu'ils ont des difficultés pour entrer en dedans à cause de leur code mail block. Et là où tu dis qu'on voit les autres personnes sortir.
como é que eu posso explicar ça?
How can I explain that?
Condamné da prison. Pas toujours.
A convicted prisoner everywhere.
Sai que vai em casa sorte. E casa não vai ter.
One
O casa
of
não
them
vai
came
ter.
out. Maybe there was
Mo pai na alan damo. Mo get lá.
an area where they were because I had not gone inside for me
Pois
to
na
look
sala
at
é
the
que ia ter.
situation.
E fé não.
It's later on that I went
Fé não.
inside to see, and given
Yeah,
the time it
O
was
moletom e fé não
already
é que te fé não coisa.
dark.
Na parla ali e fé não.
There's no light, it's dark.
Ça, ça fait la lumière, après, il a quitté à cause de l'aise, il parle là où il y a un moment la lumière qui claire là.
E que anda.
Oui,
It,
il y en a la lumière.
lights
Suma lo get
inside.
13 subu deo lá e fé não.
Il y en a-
But
il y en a la
on
lumière.
gate 13, the outside area is dark.
Ok.
But there is a big light.
Ou dit, ou marié, ou Tony, ou
Are you married?
marié,
Yes.
ou marié.
Yeah.
Combien l'année passée, ou marié?
How long ago?
Combien l'année passée, ou marié?
6 ans passé.
Combien?
6 years
6 ans
ago.
passé.
6 ans. Yeah? Ça, là,
Yeah, 6 years ago. He asked how long ago. Yes.
ça, l'incident passe un an passé, on oublie tout quelque chose.
This
Imagine
incident
oui.
happened a
Happy.
year ago, you forgot
Happy.
everything. I recall some.
Imagine,
I recall some.
Ou rappel, jour mariage qui t'y passé ça jour, comme si, 6 ans passés.
Do you recall 6 years ago, the day of your
Imagine
wedding,
happy
what
child,
happened?
baby.
I recall
Imagine
some.
Imagine, hein?
balik tayo sa alcohol, imagine happy.
I was under the influence of alcohol. I
Rappel.
would recall some.
Ou rappel un des bonnes invités qui t'y viennent au mariage.
Do you recall some of the people who were invited to your wedding?
It's for one family.
Mostly my
Ça veut
family
dire,
members.
Imagine, hein?
Bonne famille, imagine happy que tu viens.
My family members, I recall some who came.
Ça veut dire, c'est même ça qui, commissionnaire vidéo, puis c'est comprend pour dire, juste dans l'espace 1 an, 16 Tony Joe, on oublie tout quelque chose. Vous imaginez, c'est un petit...
On peut imaginer happy à cause. Sorry.
That's what Commissioner Vidot is trying to ascertain, is that the fact that the incident happened over a year ago and you have forgotten everything but recalled only one small portion. Can I speak?
Yeah, because what if another person says you are not necessarily forgetting, but you are making up a story as you are going?
Si un du monde il dit que ou pas nécessairement oublier ban quelque chose, mais ou peut arranger l'histoire, mais nous peut aller. No.
Okay, you said that when you got married, you were under the influence of alcohol, and you can't remember what happened at your wedding. Were you under the influence of alcohol when this incident happened?
On dit qu'il est au marié ou tu as l'influence de l'alcool ou pas, mais tout ça qui n'arrive au mariage, et ça l'incident qui n'arrive ou tu as l'influence de l'alcool.
Pourquoi il n'y a pas bonne question?
I cannot answer these questions.
No, you have to answer the question which is put to you by the commission. You have to.
Question qui concerne mon mariage, pas envie de répondre.
Non, non, pas mariage, ça. Il peut dire ça, l'incident radio de là où tu as l'influence de l'alcool, tu peux arriver ça, bonnes affaires?
Non.
No. He got confused. He thought you were still referring to the wedding.
So, when you got married, under the influence of alcohol, you remember. But when it comes to the incident that happened just a year ago, over a year ago, and you were sober, you can't remember.
Alors, ça a rapport avec le mariage qui arrive 6 ans passés, où tu as l'influence de l'alcool, ou capable de rappeler un peu, mais un incident qui n'arrive un petit peu le temps, un an passé, ou pas capable d'imaginer, c'est mon chazé.
Ça y est, quelque chose qui nous cause là.
This is something that we
Quelque
talk
chose qui nous
about
cause là.
every now and then.
Comment? On a famille, vous êtes. Attends, nous cause là. Qui t'attend, nous cause là.
Every now and then
C'est
we
l'état,
talk
nous cause
about.
là.
Words. You said there was a riot at Posée. You said you are the second in command of security at Posée. The nation wants to be sure that their prison is actually well secured. What do you think is the impression you are creating right now? You are the second in command of security at Posée. You say there was a riot. That's a serious thing. But you come here, you cannot remember most of the things that happened. If it was a riot, this was a big thing. Certainly, this was a big thing for the country. That's why we are here. How do you forget such a thing?
Le fait que ça y ait un riot par un dit au peuple violence et opposition aussitôt, et ça tient gros quelque chose qui t'est arrivé sitôt ici dans nos petits pays, qui m'a capable d'intégrer l'événement, quelque chose pareil.
Oui, mon oublié. Parce que si ça, tu peux là,
I had forgotten a bit about it because I was unaware that we would come. This thing would be brought before a commission.
A riot happened. It's a big thing. Earlier on, Commissioner Vidot asked you, if you think you have failed on your job or not. And you said, no, you have not failed. But do you think a person who is second in command of a major prison in a country where a riot has taken place, because that's what you are telling us, that there was a riot. These are not our words. You're saying a riot took place. You are the second in command in terms of security. Do you think, but you come here, you have forgotten, not about some, you've forgotten about a lot of major things. I can list the things that you have told us today, that you forgot this, you forgot this, you forgot this, you forgot that. Major things. Can the nation trust you going forward, that you are doing your job properly? I'm basically asking you the same question that he asked you earlier on. Considering that you are saying by yourself, not us, by yourself, that you have forgotten about some of these things, because you never thought a day like this one will come where you will be asked questions. But at the same time, you say this was a major thing in the country's prison. You've forgotten. So, do you blame anyone who, after listening to you, says we are not safe? In your hands.
Est-ce que après que nous pouvons natir ça l'incident lui-même qui est arrivé ou position ou qualité l'ouvrage que vous pouvez faire et qui est fait par nous dit ça tient grand l'incident grand l'événement qui est arrivé ici et qu'il y en a 10 personnes qui peut actuellement guetter ça qui peut passer dans la commission après que vous entendez ou l'évidence si il y en a aucun 10 personnes qui dit ben nous pas sains sauf côté prison, nous l'état prison lui-même n'est pas en sécurité. Est-ce que vous pouvez blâmer aucun parmi ça ben du monde qui en a été le raisonnement pareil après qu'ils ont écouté toute l'évidence?
Une question encore, je
Can the question be repeated?
Sorry?
Again, can the question be repeated?
You want the question?
Après qui ban
Oh, okay.
après que citoyen pareil ban du monde qui code la cour peut get sa commission en rapport avec tout l'évidence qu'on donne en cours là qui y en a un bon bout qui pas consistant là de pareil ban commissionnaire il met de l'attention après qui du monde observe l'évidence si il sortit avec sa conclusion qui il pas senti que nous en sécurité ici c'est celle nous prison ici et sauf après ça qui il voit ça qui n'écoute est-ce que au problème ça du monde qui pour un tel raisonnement pareil comme si après qu'il n'écoute ou témoignage là aujourd'hui ou bien vous sentez qu'il pas les cas?
Non, pas chauffe.
No, not at all.
Okay. We just putting this to you. You are not the first witness we are hearing. We've had so many witnesses, but we've also heard prison wardens who are lower in rank, lower than you, who have, it's their version, so we are not saying it's true or not, but they remember what happened. They are able to answer the questions that we ask them and give their own version. We are not saying it's the truth, but no one has come to us saying, I can't remember. They are junior, way junior compared to you. But they have not said they can't remember.
Junior qui venu avant ou qui nous pas dire tout ça qu'ils ont dit la vérité mais seulement ils ont capable rappeler grand portion là ça l'événement lui-même ça l'incident qui est arrivé qui ils ont rendu beaucoup plus bas qui pour mais seulement ils ont n'a pas capable at least rappeler bien l'événement l'incident qui est arrivé.
So I will ask you a question. I was just putting that to you. I wasn't asking a question. I'll ask you a question. How many times does a riot happen
Combien de fois
How many times has a riot happened in this country?
est
In a
arrivé de
prison?
prison? À peu près.
Huh?
It happened 2 times.
2 times in the last how many years?
Dans sa dernière l'espace combien de temps?
Donc, les dépassés.
A long time ago.
Right. So, and I'm not necessarily agreeing with you that there was a riot. Neither am I disagreeing with you. I'm just using your words of a riot. So it means that a riot is something that is serious. So if you are the deputy in command in terms of security at Posée, surely you would have a recollection of what happened, especially when you were there. Is that not so?
Vicky pareil, on dit ça, il arrive des fois, et sa dernière fois que ça arrive, c'est beaucoup le temps passé qui donne l'indication, l'impression que ça y a quelque chose qui, alors c'est grand, quelque chose si pour arriver surtout ici. Alors ça, est-ce que ou pas quoi qui, ou tu devrais être capable de rappeler certaines informations importantes en rapport avec ça, l'événement?
C'est ça, on dit. Imaginez, puis, seulement, on peut confier mon ouvrage.
That's what I'm saying, to recall.
So
I can recall some,
prefer.
but you are confusing my job description,
probably
what
vamos
I'm
completar por
supposed to
explicar.
do as my job.
On peut confier mon autres.
You are confusing me.
Just on the testimony that you are giving, which is consistent, and you're saying you forgot quite a few events that happened on that on the 5th and the 6th of December. When you knew this commission was set up, okay, did you not, and I'm sure you did you not have conversations with other officers as to what happened on that date?
Là où tu connais que sa commission tu peux gagner établi, est-ce que tu as une conversation avec les autres officiers en rapport avec ça, l'incident?
Non.
No.
Do you want me to believe that? Seriously?
Est-ce que vraiment vous voulez que la commission y croit ça?
Personne ne dit, souvent, je connais.
No
Je peux
one
dire, pendant,
told me, but I knew that there would
souvent,
be
staff prison,
a commission.
a dit,
But the
c'est
staff
dit
from
qui peut causer avec
prison
moi, c'est mon chef.
did not inform me.
Staff.
The only person that spoke to me was my superior.
So you had discussions with your superior
Yeah.
regarding the incident that happened.
Avez-vous eu une discussion avec le supérieur en rapport avec l'incident? Ça, l'incident qui est arrivé?
Et c'est, qui dit, moi, il y a des bonnes questions qu'ils ont pu venir demander.
The part of the information that he discussed with me was that there were questions that
Sur moi, là, il
the
commençait après le
commission
moment
would
de
be
congé.
asking. But then, l'État a commencé après quoi?
Les autres, ils commençaient. L'État, ils commençaient pour venir questionner les inmates au moment de congé.
But
Parce que là, mon code de congé.
when the commission first started, when you started taking evidence from the inmates, I had started annual leave. Even until now, I am in annual leave.
So will I be right in saying that the superior you're referring to is Inspector Ivan Nicola?
Est-ce qu'il est correct pour lui dire que ça supérieur la coupe cause là, et Ivan, inspecteur Ivan Nicolas, que vous avez une discussion là?
Yes.
Okay. So you discussed about this case, this incident.
Vous discutez concernant ça l'incident avec lui.
L'incident qu'ils ont pu venir prison.
The incident about the fact that you were coming to prison.
So Mr. Nicola just told you, oh, the commission is coming to prison, and that's it? Nothing else?
In
Prison,
this-
ils ont pu venir get terrain. Après, ils ont pu venir questionner les inmates.
He said that you were coming to look at the area and then questioning the inmates.
Moi, je ne pas connaître je vais venir là.
I myself, I was unaware of the fact that I would be coming here.
So you just came here on your own?
Non. So pe ko bo mo so sa ban le temps, mo pe di ban le temps.
I'm
Après
referring
qui mon gars il
to
est pour après qui quelque chose qui mon noir mon remarque qui
back
qui mon venir
then.
là.
Back then,
C'est mon
it was
commencement. Les autres commencent à venir. Parce qu'on a essayé de venir là.
in the beginning when you started coming to Montagne Posée, I was unaware of the fact that I would be called
Après-
to come here.
Après qui mon gars dit qui question.
Afterwards,
So
I
moi
was
ça m'a pas
told,
gars dit non rien.
it was only after that I was told about questioning, but
okay,
before
good.
that I was not told anything.
So
Après, mon point
who,
posé.
who told
And
you
then I
about the
went on annual
questions?
leave.
Sorry, who told you about the questions that would be posed to you?
Ça qui t'indique au concerne une question pour gagner demander avec vous.
L'inspecteur après une call pour dire moi
Okay.
j'ai venu.
Inspector Nicola, and then afterwards he called me and stating that I would have to come.
So when he told you the nature of questions we will ask you, okay, the questions he's anticipating that we will ask you, I'm sure you had a discussions about what actually happened, because just to see whether it is it corroborates what Mr. Ivan Nicola would be deponing before this commission.
Et peut dire qu'il besoin qu'ils ont une discussion, les autres ne connaissent qui pendant sa commission pour faire ce qui ça qu'ils ont pour dire corrobore avec ça pour camarades, c'est-à-dire ça que M. Ivan aussi dit pendant pour dire avec sa commission ainsi que vous.
Là bon connais mon peut venir là une semaine.
No, that was not my question.
Ça,
Repeat the question.
il partit question. Question c'est que ils ont dans sa discussion comme si pour faire ce qui ça qu'ils ont pour dire rapport que ça laisse il corrobore camarade, c'est-à-dire ça que M. Ivan Nicolas y en a pour dire et que sa commission ainsi que ça qui ou on a pour dire qu'on dit là aujourd'hui.
Non.
No.
But you discussed the questions. That's what you told us early on. You
C'est
discussed the questions.
On dit
Okay.
nous bonheur qu'ils ont type discuter de l'autre question.
So when he told you, oh, this is a question they're going to ask you, you would say, oh, my answer will be.
Là, par exemple, une vient dit ou capable de demander telle question ou pas dire mais moment pour répondre telle la réponse.
Oh, bout qui bon dit mais mon esprit pas tu peux focus sur les affaires moi. On dit mais toi quelque chose bon pas imaginer.
What
On
I
dit
told him was that my mind is not focusing on these matters because three quarters of everything that day I had forgotten about.
ça
That's
moi
what
dit
I
moi
told him.
mon si mon quelque chose personnel mon esprit peut focus sur là.
And I told
Qu'est-ce qui est plus
him
grave qui ça?
that I also have my personal matters that I am focusing on
On
that
quelque
is
chose
much
personnel, c'est
more
plus-
important than,
Plus grave.
And
much more serious, sorry, than
Mon
that.
esprit il doit bon quelque chose.
So my mind is currently focused on these things.
And at that time, did Mr. Nicola not tell you, okay, I will refresh your memory as to some events that happened?
Et ça l'état là, on dit ça, M. Nicolas. Pas dire il y avait pour rafraîchir ou mémoire pour faire rappeler certains quelque chose?
Non.
No.
Okay. Okay, let's move on. You say you saw one in. Anyway, initially you said you gave impression that it was more than one injured, but then you saw one person, one inmate being brought out. Is that correct?
Est-ce qu'il est correct que oui plus bonne on dit que tu as des toi qui peut gagner mais mais c'est même après ça on dit que tu vois un peut gagner mais est-ce que ça est correct? Yes. Yes,
Les
there
bons
was
là
one.
dehors un qui sorti.
When I was there outside, there was one that came out.
Apart from that one person that you saw, were there any, during the whole commotion, did you see any other inmates who were injured and were being carried out?
Ou pas trouve aucun des autres cordonniers qui peut gagner mais qui est blessé à part ça un qu'on dit.
À cause de ça ban le temps.
Just
No,
answer
probably
yes,
no,
or,
no.
yes or no.
No, no.
So, throughout this whole incident, what you're telling us, you saw only one injured
Yes.
person.
Ni one on va sorti. Ça ban le pour cause là.
Only one I saw coming out, referring to the time that I was referring to.
Oh, okay. And when you went inside the mill block, what was the purpose of you going inside the mill block?
Le ou chalon de côté mail block qui à cause que chalon de là-bas.
Mon a dit que côté garde room. Mon qui était soit des autres qui n'arrivaient.
I went to check out the mess that happened at the guard room.
That is not entirely correct because early on you told us that you went inside the prison.
Non.
Ça y pas entièrement correct à cause plus bonheur. On dit que tu allons dans la prison, pas
Non.
jusqu'au guard room.
Non.
No,
Je pas écoute moi bien joué.
did
Mon
not
dit,
listen.
on peut expliquer encore. L'état qui mon a le get 13 après que m'a écoute garde room. Après mon ressorti dehors, mon
I
visite
was
dehors.
there at gate 13 and then I went to the guard room and then I went outside.
Après qui mon retourne dehors, et les mon retourne dehors mon là. Après mon wa garde qui assiste plutôt à des sections.
I remained there outside and then
Là
I
qui
saw
mon
the
entrée mon donne
officers
l'homme.
assisting cleaning out these sections and that's when I went inside to go help
Pourquoi
out.
under prison mon de garde room.
I had not yet
That's
reached
a guard
inside
room.
the prison. I was in
Après
the
les mon
guard
de
room.
garde room, mon sorti dehors.
And then after from the guard room, I went outside.
And at no point you went inside the prison that evening?
Ça ce soir là, tu n'as pas aucun état coutial de prison dedans?
Non.
No.
Non, pour compter en dedans.
No, I had not yet entered inside.
Which on the 5th of December, you told us that you went up there, upper section of the prison. You saw Inspector Ivan standing. You saw the inmates backed in a corner, but later on you said you saw them throwing stones. Then later on you said, I'd forgotten that there was the army. So you see, we recall, you said on 5 December, you went in and you went up to the to the upper section. You left because there was smoke. So why are you saying you never went in?
Non, ça après qui mon aller. On peut tout les mon retourne dehors là, mon pas dans le corps les après moi. Après qui les mon fili assister plétoyer. Après qui mon caca sin vini, avec pio cadas aller. Bon ça qui peut après qui mon aller.
It was
So because mo point
afterwards that
Pour les moments pas dans
I
le
left.
après moi.
At the moment, I had not yet gone upstairs
À cause on dit moi si après ça mon pas dans le corps ça.
because
C'est le
you
moment
asked
que me
me
explique qui mon aller là.
if after that I did not go upstairs again. I'm explaining the only time
Après
that
qu'il
I
ait mon
went.
fili, les toits ça des sections mon fili assister. Après qui mon cadre, ça après qui mon à l'école.
It was only after
So moi tu
finishing cleaning
n'as encore garde. So mon
the
pas
two sections. That's when I saw P.O. Cadas and that's when I went upstairs. But then afterwards there were other officers also.
My question was there any time that you went inside the mail block? That was what I asked you. Interpret for him, please.
Et tu demandes plus bonheur si tu n'as côté mail block en dans lui. Ça qui demande c'est à aucun point pas dans l'ennui ou tu n'as en dans mail block.
Juste ça une montée pour taper pour aller.
The only time that I went up, but then afterwards I did not go again.
When you went inside the mail block, who were the officers that were inside the mail block? What I'm saying, was it police officers, military officers, or?
Pour moi PSW. Après j'ai la machine briller 10 jours l'armée.
I saw PSSW and then like I stated earlier, the army officers.
Okay.
Après nous même nous prison.
Okay.
And then us at the prison.
Did you not, at any time, assist the military, the police officers, in assaulting the inmates?
Non.
No.
So you mean to say that we've had a lot of evidence which states that you were part of the group of people who went inside the prison, and the military officers, the prison officers, were assaulting the inmates.
No.
Non, pas vrai.
It's not true.
Bon, un qui m'a dit pas aller.
I was
À cause moi j'ai mon louvage
told not to go because the nature of my work, I was told not to go.
Anyway, okay.
Follow-up question. You were told not to go, but there's a question he asked, which I don't think you answered. Why did you, the time that you went inside the prison section, the male block prison section, and you went to the upper section, what was your purpose of going in there?
Le ou di sa bout ki ou ti al under the male block ou ti monte le la, apre ou pa chal anko, a cause ki ou ti nal pou monte le pa yon di.
Moi un prison officer moi. Moi.
I'm
Un
a
garde de
prison
prison moi.
officer.
Sorry, what is
Pour
that?
monter.
I am a prison officer. I'm still waiting for.
That is the answer. Sergeant, Sergeant, you are telling us, these are your words, there's a riot happening. You have been instructed. You remember I asked this very same question again earlier. You have been instructed, according to your own version, that you must be in the control room and monitor the situation from outside. But you decide, and I remember asking you earlier on, who told you that you must go inside and you must leave the control room? You said, no, I decided. So you decided to go inside in the middle of a riot. Surely there must be something that is motivating you to go inside. So I am not going to accept the answer that says, I am a prison officer. This was not a normal day, according to you. So every movement that you make, every place that you go to, it must be because there's something in particular that you want to go and address. So I will ask you again, why did you leave the control room, go inside and go up to the upper section of the male block?
Commissionnaire peut dire qu'il ne peut pas accepter la réponse en rapport avec les faits qui on a les à cause ou un officier prison à cause nous mettre quelque chose en contexte là un riot est arrivé et alors cela ban quelque chose par une informé plus bonnet pour aller dans control room là bas aucune décidé pour aller là ou même et il pas penser aussi tout qui ça a fait pour monter là basé sur une décidé comme ça même. Et pour besoin d'une raison à cause qui ont décidé pendant ça millier ça riot là pendant qu'un riot peut arriver quelque chose qui sérieux juste pour aller en dedans même là-bas pour monter à cause qu'on allait
Le contrôle ne pourquoi ça beaucoup de contrôle pour ne pas qu'il aille poser les mots dit rien qui de contrôle premier
I believe he's confused. He thinks he wants you want him to comment about the control part, but I just gave him this as an example, like you stated.
I will ask you this because this is an important question. I will ask you again. When you tell us that you went inside the male block prison section, and then you went to the upper section of the prison, what were you looking for?
Là, on dit nous qui est entré dans la prison pour monter en l'air. Ou tu peux haute qualité pour quelle raison continue là-bas?
Juste mon monté m'a gardé côté garde n'arrivé.
I went up to see where the officers had reached.
You went up to see where the officers had reached.
Qui distance n'arrivé?
Why?
What distance had they reached? À cause ça.
Why? Why was that important for you?
À cause qu'il est important pour connaître quand tu es arrivé.
Non, mais mon monté, mon guetté quand n'arrivé. Mon guetté quand n'arrivé, qui distance?
I went to just check on the distance where they had reached.
And my question stands.
À cause
Why was that important
à
for
cause
you
c'est important pour
to go
connaître
and check the distance that they had reached?
pour connaître côté qui distance de arrivé.
Non, il est important. Moi qui l'ai, mon sorti d'air, mon connaît côté les autres n'arrivé.
It's important for me so that when I go outside, I move outside, I am aware of where they had reached in the particular section up there.
But you have been instructed by your boss to be in the control room and watch the area outside.
Mais c'est moi qui ai restriction avec au supérieur pour rester dans control room pour observer perimeter par Yunji.
So we,
Ina
yeah.
ina bukso pan kaya ko po mo.
There's one part
Le
that you
mo
did not
safe in
understand.
vini,
Uh-huh.
inji mo get perimeter.
When my superior came, he said to watch over the perimeter.
Uh-huh.
Perimeter avait dit mo pa da control mo, mo buso chi mo da control.
So that means that I would not
Perimeter avait dit mo vinde yo la.
stay only in the
Pala
control
lo get
room.
7, get 13 na ba.
I would have to move outside, get 7, get 13,
And get inside the prison.
et entrer dans la prison too.
Comment? Just
Entrer dans la prison
no
too?
deo.
No, only outside.
Okay. The upper section of the prison is inside the prison. Correct?
Ça bout en l'air là que nous peut dire dans la prison. Il y a dans la prison même.
Sabut yeah.
Yes.
Where you saw Inspector Ivan,
Yeah, that there.
it's inside.
Yes.
Yeah, it's inside.
Right. You have been instructed to watch outside.
Which you got restriction pour get perimeter
Is that correct?
outside.
Yeah, get deo.
Right.
Yes,
so the
outside.
The question, Sergeant, is why did you the first question that you didn't answer is who instructed you? You say no. In fact, you answered it. I mean, I take back that you answered it. You said you decided to go and see how far the military and the police had gone up. Right? But this was not part of the instruction you had been given by your boss. Your boss says, watch outside. You decide to go inside and watch. Is that so that's number one. And Commissioner is just reminding me also that you had said your boss Ivan, Inspector Ivan, said, do not go inside.
Yeah, I give it.
Right. So you disobeyed him.
Alors, si pas tu obéis à Ivan à cause de studio, rester pour get perimeter présent ou dans l'anda.
Yeah, I'm not mo idi. Mo
Yes, I went inside to help.
So you disobeyed him
cleaning.
by going inside.
No
Alors,
mo di
so,
mo nettoyer.
no, I told him that I was going to clean.
Oh, you told him.
Yeah, comme si pas l'inspecteur Ivan les
How did you tell him?
Oh, l'inspecteur Ivan. Après is going inside.
Afterwards, Inspector
L'inspecteur
Ivan,
Ivan il passe bon après.
he passed
Il passe
by
bon pour
next
aller
to
là.
me for him to go
Il a la prison
upstairs
li.
inside the
Il passe bon
prison.
li.
He passed by next to me.
Okay, so you went inside. You told your boss that you've given me these instructions to watch outside, but I'm going inside now. To do what? And you said, I just wanted to see how far the soldiers and the police had gone. Then when you got in there, you found your own boss there.
Yeah. You see me? Yeah. No, I'm
Okay.
already.
So
He saw
both
me
of
there.
you want to see the same thing.
No, mo pas contre pour lui.
No, I do not know about his.
No, mo pas contre
So you and your boss, you are not coordinating.
Le papa coordonné alors soit avec le boss.
Mo le mo monter ici dans les.
When I came up, he was already there.
Yes, but your boss is already there. Yes, we got that. So we are saying you went to check where the police and the soldiers are, right? And you found that your boss is also there. So which means that you and your boss are doing the same thing. So it means there is no coordination between you and your boss, right? Because if there is coordination, then you should have continued watching the perimeter outside to make sure that no one is in and out, because your boss is already watching where the soldiers and the police are. But because there is no coordination, you find yourself in the same area. Is that correct?
Est-ce qu'il correct qui entoure avec le supérieur ça l'état type n'a pas une coordination à cause il fait ou pour rester dehors pour get perimeter Et après ça, on a en dedans, pour les on arrive là-bas pour voir les qui tiennent des là aussi, peut get même ça fait même qui tiennent monter pour venir guetter. Est-ce que ça est correct qui est pas dans bonne coordination là?
Non, coordination. Sur mon père limite, pas mon fait tout à l'heure. Il y en a sur bon caporal, il y en a son caporal. Moi?
There is coordination because with regards to perimeter, as I was explaining earlier, there are corporals also.
Il y en a son caporal. Sa caporal présente l'équipe brief mo ban quelque chose.
The corporal would then brief me about
encore dit mon kilo fil.
things
Lo
and
fil pas dis
matters.
tout seul.
There are other people on the field. It's not only myself.
Why was your boss inside?
Comment?
Ou si
Why
pe
was
yetanda cause
your boss, Inspector Ivan, inside?
I don't know.
You don't know, but you were coordinating. So you don't know why he was inside, but you were coordinating.
So tu peux coordonner bien ensemble seulement ou pas connaître à cause qui les Chinalanda.
No, the inspector is a high rank. Il va vous dire, moi, son liquide à mon lot. Pas
He's
mon
a
qui donne ni l'autre.
high-ranking
Lui dit, moi,
officer.
pas vous dire, moi.
He gives order to me and I would not give order to him.
No, but high-ranking order and low-ranking order in a riot situation, he is your superior. We are not saying he must account to you or he is answerable to you. No, but we are saying you are saying we were coordinating, which means you were distributing yourself in such a way that every area you are watching every area, right? So we're saying your boss was up there. You decided to also go up there. Does that make sense? Because both of you
Yes.
appear to be doing the same thing.
L'air, il est entré.
Yeah.
Par contre, on est allé, bon. L'air, mon monte, qui m'ont allé.
When he entered,
L'air, mon monte, qui m'ont allé. Mon, parce qu'on est si allé. C'est moi, il passe au bon.
he passed by next
Par contre,
to
on
me.
est allé. L'air, moi, il
was-
va l'air, qui m'ont, à cause de prison, il gagne, prison, problème, prison intersection.
I did not know where he went
Où qu'il
when
est,
he
mon
passed
monte.
by next to me.
Mon allé,
Upon arriving up there, that's when I saw him there.
I
The
think we'll
prison is
move on.
big,
I
there are a
think-
lot of sections.
il pas dit, moi, si monte allé,
He did not told me that he was going upstairs.
You said, ou tu dis que les Rwanda, inspecteur Ivan Yanda,
oui, il est allé, mon monte.
Yes, he was already
tous les
up
deux
there.
candidats là. Oui, dans l'état question de Mandou, dit pour dire il y en a ban caporal avec ban les autres
Et oh,
monde
oui.
qui
Yes,
dehors.
outside, other corporals, with
Qui
other people.
qui terms of communication qui ou qui supposé peut coordonner tout ban du monde qui m'a tu peux coordonner ça ban du monde là ou en de la prison ça ban du monde dehors là-bas qui m'a tu coordonner camarade.
You were inside of the prison and these people that you are referring to were outside, so how were you coordinating with each other?
Non, mais les mon pour bouger. Mon pour aller. Mon les formations parce que ça capable mais pour ticket pécou faire si tout quelque chose il gagne mal. Par exemple,
I am moving out and going somewhere, the information I would leave that with the
Accuse-moi.
corporal and saying that I am
Accuse-
moving
les
now,
mon bouge en
such
dedans.
and such.
si mon aller nettoyer en dedans.
Because when I moved inside, it was for me to go and clean inside.
16 ans. Ou, encore une fois, je répète tout, ou député chef sécurité prison.
I repeat one
Okay.
more time, you are the deputy chief security of the prison.
Ou entrer dans la prison, on joint ou l'inspecteur qui est en charge.
You entered inside the
Inspector
prison and
Ivan.
met with the inspector in charge of yourself.
Présent, tout ban zone pour dehors.
all of your
L'accident est gros, l'accident qui peut passer là.
Outside, it's a big
Ou bien
incident
qu'on a
that
qui peut passer
happened.
dehors prison.
You must be aware of
Ouais,
what is
chef là.
happening outside. You are a chief now.
Qui manière où tu fais pe coordine mouvement ou ban zone si tu besoin donner instruction, qui manière où tu peux donner cette instruction ou dans la prison.
How
You
are
know,
you
course,
able
if
to coordinate
you know, course,
your men if
Tu
you
n'as
had
encore
an
16 ans dehors. Tu
instruction?
n'as encore 10 mois encore dehors.
Non, mon papa demande 16, on demande où qui manière où peut gagner l'information où
How
à
are
cause
you
où tu fais en
receiving
masse
your
l'information où.
information since
At
you
the
were
times the
picking
control.
up information?
System control.
Oui, mon.
It was only during
L'information
the
qui
time that I was at the
pour moi.
control.
il pour me gagner une idée.
Oui.
And that was for my own
Pas pousser avec les autres
idea,
démons.
for
Non,
me to
mon-
get an idea.
Moi, les mon prison. Mon besoin, à la quand je me connais qui paye, on fasse quelque chose.
Because when I went to prison,
Mon
I had
monter,
to
mon
go to
mon
control.
un peu l'information pour moi, qui peut arriver.
For me to
Et
gather
les
some
informations, les
information.
mon c'est fin, une vie à côté de moi.
Oui, mais
To know what
écoute-moi,
has happened,
avant mon fini. Est-ce que vous pouvez faire mon croire pour dire dans la prison ou comment un député chef sécurité côte prison Cécile ou bien nettoyer une prison à soir vu que ça tient un incident qui t'y sérieux dans le pays ou comment chef député chef sécurité ou peut nettoyer un casseau.
C'est sécurité, c'est l'inspecteur Ivan.
The chief of
Député,
security
mon
is
Dieu.
Inspector Ivan. I'm the
Oui, mon pas en bali, moi ça au terre ou bébé moi. Il parle yo.
Député chef sécurité ou
Ça
peut
vous-
nettoyer casseau 10 heures du soir.
deputy. As the
No,
you
but-
expect
but
us
don't-
to believe that as the deputy chief security of
No,
the
but
prison,
let
you
us
would
have
be
the
cleaning the
section.
cell at night. So, as the deputy chief security, you expect us to believe that you would be cleaning the prison cell at night.
Mais si ou peut nettoyer casseau, ban caporal, ban pio, qui autres peut faire autres ça ban bou.
Tout le monde peut d'avoir l'état. Ça bon l'état.
Everyone
Pas que
was-
si ou tu safe, si ou pas tu safe.
So, if you
Nous
are,
peut
as
aider,
the
tu peux
deputy
aider.
chief,
N'a pas-
is cleaning the prison cell, what
Nous
would
peut
be
aider
the
pour nettoyer,
corporal
pour tirer.
doing at that
OK,
time?
inspecteur
Everyone
Ivan
was
aussi, tu peux
helping
donner un coup
out
de main?
at that
Pour
time.
moi,
Was Inspector Ivan also amongst those people helping out?
Is que Inspector Ivan was helping to clean the prison as well? Because as you are saying, everybody was helping to clean the prison. Was Inspector Ivan as well helping to clean the sections?
non, pas noir.
No, I did not see him.
Tu as deux sets, un côté, un ici avec un l'autre côté. Tu as deux sets qui doivent nettoyer. Bon, tu as à côté ici.
There was two sections being cleaned. I was on the
Et
other,
c'est ça
So
là.
we need to.
the other side.
C'est ça, il y a trois, c'est ça aussi là.
CINS was
Et
also
aussi,
there present.
Yeah, we need
il te
to.
donne la main.
He was also helping out.
We need to move towards the end. Let me give him back. Then we will wrap up.
Just one thing, going back there. You said that you went up. You wanted to see what was happening, but yet early on you told us, since you suffer from, what is it you suffer from? Sinus.
Sinusitis.
Yes. You are not able to be exposed to smell of smoke or anything like that. Yet, despite that, you decided to go inside and to see what was happening. There must have been a purpose why you would put your health in danger just to go inside for something in there. Translate.
I did not quite get the question also, my lord.
I say that
apologize.
he says he suffers from sinus.
Yes, I
okay?
got that part, yes.
And he has problems with smoke. Okay. And he says there was a fire in the prison. So, what was the purpose of him going up into the prison, putting himself at risk, his health at risk, because he cannot take smoke, inhalate smoke? So, what was the purpose of him going there?
Ok, Monsieur Josa qui commissionnaire PC demande avec ou ce qu'il est fait qu'on mette dans nous l'attention qui ou dans sa condition sinusitis qui ou gars affecté par la fumée ben quelque chose comme ça qu'on dit qu'on dit fait aussi tout la fumée de ça l'endroit en dedans qui tibi alors à cause que tu pour mettre ou la santé en danger pour entrer en dedans de prison pour monter l'air de ça l'endroit même qui en a ça ben quelque chose qui peut affecter au sinus.
Mon travail.
My work.
Si arrivé mon école d'interrompre, j'allais me tirer. Ça est mon devoir.
If,
Represent
for
officer, mon
example,
devoir.
I saw that an inmate, a convict, had
Mon
fallen
devoir
ill or
pour monter.
fallen down, it's my duty for me to help.
Prison, capable monter, descendre. Ça est mon devoir, moi travaille mais prison officer moi.
It's my duty as a prison officer to go in
Il
and
m'a
out, up and down the prison.
Moi tu capable 30 fois descendre.
I could have gone in and out 30 times.
But why was it before that you gave that as an excuse?
Pourquoi moi?
1 minute. That you gave that as a reason why you cannot be exposed to smoke, so you didn't want to be exposed for long. So why did you give us that that story that you suffer from sinus and you cannot be exposed to smoke for a long time?
Mais à cause alors qu'on donne nous ça histoire qui à cause du sinusitis ou problème sinus qui on pas capable d'exposer avec ça la fumée pour longtemps. Où tu besoin aller?
Non mais c'est ça qui m'ont sorti. C'est ça
That's
qui m'ont
why I
monté à
left.
cause les bonnes montées, allez. Ça tout beaucoup la fumée. Ça qui me fait bon aller.
Because when
Il
I
fait mon sorti
entered
aller.
and went upstairs,
Moi,
since there was a lot of smoke due to the huge amount of smoke, that's what got me to
par exemple,
leave.
moi un l'artisan qui m'a servi, moi de mon aîné. Ben il parti là avec moi, c'est ça qui m'a besoin sorti.
And I have a medication that I
Because what you
usually
want-
use to put in my
tu
nose, but
vas
it was not
affecter moi.
with me there present at
C'est ça
that
qui m'a
time,
sorti.
and I had to get out because it would have affected me.
Did you observe, because there has been testimonies that confirm that, anybody, any inmates being beaten up, being aggressed by police officers and military officers?
On observe aucun des autres prisonniers qui ont été agressés ou bien battus, tapés par aucun des officiers militaires.
Les mon les ben l'état qui les mon monter les moi mon oiseau peut la guerre à cause sont en dans autres garde peut la guerre pour entrer en dedans moi cause tout condamné une fille monter les
During the
So,
time that I
to
was
motor
there,
les autres.
upstairs,
so tout une gagne pour les autres lock sabut comme pendant tout pendant là-bas moi quand mon début il y a un petit peu résistance avec moi
from where I was standing, it was a
quand
bit
mon
of,
début
there was a bit of a
un petit peu
distance.
résistance après l'inspecteur arrivé un petit peu par derrière moi.
Inspector Ivan was behind
Pas
me.
tout loin.
The prisoners was already
Pas tout loin
locked
avec moi.
inside, and I saw that the military was
Tout
struggling
mon
to
petite
gain
fille
access
monter
inside.
les moi
Everyone had already went in upstairs.
So, if there are depositions that state that you were, actually you were involved and that you saw what happened when the inmates were being aggressed, would that be true?
Répète question ouais.
S'il y en a l'évidence qui entre, qui comme quoi, qui peut faire ressortir qu'il y en a ban officiers, ban prisonniers qui ont battu, qui ont agressé, est-ce que ça il pouvait dire qu'il n'est pas correct ou bien correct?
Prisonnier il gagne oui sont une gagne battre mon trouvé battre à cause de
So you saw
Yes,
it.
prisoners was beaten. Yes, I saw.
fait pourquoi finir
No, but that's what
Mais
you just
non.
said. You
non
said,
mais
I saw
pourquoi finir
it.
dire espère mon fille
I'm not finished
Moi,
yet, but I'm not
What?
finished. There's more.
les formations qui gagne prisonnier virginie bopé injury gagne battre
Information that
What?
was
Information
received was that yes, the
gagne bopé injury qui vont monter
inmates suffered from a
What?
lot of injuries and they were beaten.
après ben l'état qui avant mon aller mon wa ben injury qui gagne monter qui gagne monter si les de mon pialer ben injury ben des formations qui m'ont après qui les mon si les mon peut monter les mon peut monter comme si hein
While I was going up towards where?
pour monter côté comme si les mon côté administration là administration les mon peut sortir mon peut monter bon par le côté c'est mon fille dans tout uniforme
When
They
I was
must
at
be
the
done before,
administration and
they must be
finished
sorted.
handing over all the
puis à
uniforms,
côté gate 1
as I was coming out going towards the gate 1,
il y en a un des bandes condamnés qui monte avec un injury tout est là autres
there were a
Puis, bon,
couple
descend
of
le gate
inmates that came up with injuries
il y
and
en
they
a bandes
remained
qui
there.
dans passe qui monte bandes qui peut crier mais
There
pas
were
mandat
some
tam
passing by,
pas
crying
petit
out.
pas côté l'ambulance pas ben l'état qui est l'ambulance inali pour moi qui les mon qui m'ont passé l'ambulance can filiale dit
And during those times, for
Abi
example,
fi aller après, il te fait ils autres ça au di moun.
maybe when I was passing by the
Seulement
ambulance,
injury return.
had already left, or maybe they were picking up
information
people.
qui me connaît dans bâti.
But according to information received, there was a lot of injuries sustained by the prisoners. They were beaten. There was a lot.
Just now, in that piece of evidence you gave, there was a contradiction. Because initially you said you saw inmates being beaten up, and then you changed that to say you got information. No. I'm telling you that there is a contradiction. Because you said, when he answered in the beginning, you said, I saw, and then you say, no, I got information.
Information that I received.
So the fact that you said you saw early on, what was that?
Ça veut dire ça continue avant ça, tu quoi ça?
Non, c'est un mistake.
A mistake.
Yeah, seulement l'information qui m'ont gagné.
But
À cause après mon monté.
information I received.
Mon monté après mon descendre comme si mon monté là, mon administration là, mon monté. Comme si peut-être que ça qu'on arrive après mon administration moi. Mon pas
Because I was at the administration, and afterwards I went
peut d'autres bout qui m'ont.
and I am telling the part that I saw.
Okay. There is a part of the prison on the upper floor, I believe it is, which is known as the African section. This is where you have inmates of other nationalities that are placed there. You're aware of that?
Ou courant pour dire qu'il y en a une partie de prison qui y en a ban les autres qui pour ban étranger comme si ban étranger quand ils mettaient là-bas.
Comme si de prison si oui de prison il y en a ban c'est comme si on peut se causer comme là.
Okay. There is a section in the prison which is known. Anyway, that's what everybody calls it. It's the African section, but actually it's for inmates who are of foreign origins. You are aware of that?
Yes, there are sections where there are foreigners in prison.
And from deposition that we have heard is that you went up there and you instructed military and police officers to kill these foreigners because they are killing our people. That means because they are dealing in drugs. So they're killing the Sechua people.
No.
No,
On peut arriver là-bas.
I did not reach there.
On peut arriver là-bas.
Did not reach there.
Everybody who say that they saw you there is not telling the truth. We have a number of people saying that they saw you there.
To Sakinji, no,
On peut arriver là-bas.
I did not reach there.
On peut arriver là-bas.
Okay. In the prison, is there a group of people or inmates that the administration, that is particularly the CP, call them bosses?
La prison, est-ce qu'il y en a un groupe ban prisonnier qui ban dimouni konzot comme ban boss de prison? Yes.
And even the CP says that these are the bosses.
Même
You're aware
le
of that?
commissionnaire il konzot comme boss.
Yes, connais.
Okay. And when you went in that night, did you not have a piece of paper with about 10 names on that piece of paper? And you said, actually that was the evidence we got, that you said that these are the people who are identified as the bosses.
No.
No.
No. No.
No.
Okay. Okay, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Okay. Do you know an inmate called Shabani Kizamba?
Shabani. Yes.
You know him?
Yeah.
How long have you known him?
Depuis les travail prison.
Since I started working at prison.
Yeah, but the question is how long?
C'est bon, peut-être, hein.
A long time.
On conjoint.
I
You
know
say how
them.
you don't answer questions. How long?
How long?
Yeah.
À peu près 10 ans, hein.
10 years or so.
10 years. So what can you tell us about his behavior in prison?
Si, non, mon ami,
Bah,
seulement.
il comporte de prison sur
On peut dire mon-
l'attitude, son comportement.
Non, là, on peut dire mon Sabani.
Are you
Combien de
referring
temps?
to Shabana only?
Shabani is referring
Shabani.
Pas tout, pas
Shabani
tout.
Kizamba.
Not all of them.
Pas tout.
Okay, so just answer the question.
Yes.
Sergeant,
No,
don't
we-
anticipate
we-
what I'm going to ask you, okay, because you never know what I'm going to ask you. Just answer, just listen to the question and then answer the question. So I am asking you, do you know an inmate called Shabani Kizamba?
Shabani,
Yes.
yeah.
I
Yes, I
asked
know
you, how long have you known him? Shabani Kizamba.
Combien de temps qu'on n'est pas Yunji?
You said 10 years.
Non, t'es
Which
oui, moi,
is
je comprends
Jesus.
les autres tout le monde.
I thought you were referring to all of them.
On peut mettre à peu près 6 livres. Non, là, moi, il y a un dit, moi, je comprends les autres tout le monde. Moi, on est à peu près 5 ans, comment? À peu près 5 ans,
I
comment?
have known him for about 5
À
years
peu près
or so.
comment?
So 5 years.
À peu près 5 years.
Yeah,
Approximately.
I want us to make sure that we are not misunderstanding.
Yeah, obviously.
So that 5 minutes later, you don't say,
No,
no, I
no,
didn't say.
moi, je comprends les
So
autres tout.
you have known Shabani Kizamba for 5 years.
À peu près, moi, tu t'imagines ce moment, quoi?
Approximately, I think. I cannot recall
On peut
exactly.
imaginer ce moment. Comment le temps?
So this is how it's so difficult to take your testimony.
Non, on
Sergeant,
connaît combien de temps
because-
il pose, on peut
no,
imaginer
no,
à peu
no, no,
près.
can you please
Because
wait?
I do not know.
No, but I asked you. So everything you are saying is being recorded, right? So there will be a time where we play this record, and so it will show these things that you are doing and saying here. I just asked you a few minutes ago. Do you know an inmate called Shabani Kizamba? You said yes. How long have you known him? You said 5 years, right? So now you are saying, I can't remember. I can't. How
No, but
long
imagine-
have you known
no.
Kizamba?
Don't talk, let him finish.
How long have you known Shabani Kizamba?
Combien de temps on connaît Shabani? Kizamba, c'est lui tout seul.
C'est tout seul, hein? Moi, pas pourquoi il y a une discussion. Moi, pas pourquoi il y a une discussion là.
I would not be able to
Pourquoi il y a
give
une
you
discussion?
an answer on that.
Okay, that is fine. And how? But Shabani has been in prison, I think, since 2022.
De prison depuis 2022.
On peut pas imaginer.
I cannot recall.
Non. On va
Was
pas connaître.
he in
I would not
prison?
know.
On va pas connaître.
I would
Was
not
he
know.
in prison in 2023?
On va pas connaître à cause ça tombe le record office. Quand on est quand de prison, il est pas facile pour connaître.
I would
Combien de
not
temps
know
ça-
because this
But we
the record office would be aware because they are the one responsible for any new inmates coming in the prison.
Okay, so
He's talking about sentence.
yeah,
He will not know about sentence, but how long?
yeah, but you would know about how long the prisoner. You are in charge of security, so you know
No.
you are in charge of security of prisoners, but also in charge of security of the prison.
On pas
Right.
non, pas
So-
de prison, non.
But not
Non, with
inside.
prison.
Okay, okay, no, that's
Same-
fine. Let's go back
C'est ça
to
que c'est gars pour me expliquer ça.
okay. Let's go
Pas
back to my
prison.
question.
That's what
Let's-
I'm trying
let's
to
go
explain.
back to my
not
question.
inside
Go
the
on.
prison.
Yeah, let's go back
C'est
to my
limité.
question. So you have known
Get one.
Shabani Kizamba. So have you ever had any problems with him?
Non.
Do you know if he was a problematic inmate in the time that he has been in prison? A misbehaving inmate?
Le problème I get, là to search.
The only problem I get is when to search, when I'm conducting a search.
You get problem with him?
You get
Non, comme si discussion sur les réseaux tout.
They get into discussion.
sorry,
Non,
Commissioner.
il y a une search qui nous fait là-bas côté.
Sorry, I want us to allow him to. So, you say the only problem you have with Shabani is when you went to search. Is that what you are saying? Okay. Okay, so can we take that again?
Ki problem ki wabi check?
Do you know if Shabani is a problematic inmate?
No.
No.
So does he have any cases of misbehavior in the prison?
Eskin desaga you can kakotin
Opa,
mark
bukone.
up. I would not
Kung
know.
pataway na
You
prison,
wouldn't
kapag
I don't
So,
work
so you have
inside
no
the
record
prison.
of him as a
no record for him.
problematic.
Yeah.
How would you describe him? Shabani Kizamba. How would you describe him? If someone asks you, how would you describe, what is your experience with Shabani Kizamba? What would your answer be?
Ki maya pou décrire ou l'expérience que vous gagnez avec lui.
Bon, pas rien, rien que lui. À cause, bon, pas sa relation avec lui, à cause, je temps de prison, mon héros.
I have no relation whatsoever with him because they are inside of the prison and I am outside.
Do you have any information?
I don't talk to them.
Okay. Do you have any information about his injuries as a result of what happened on 5 and 6 December?
Ou tu gagnes aucune information ou bien on a aucune information en rapport avec blessé qui tu gagnes les 5 et 6 décembre?
Les 6 sont l'autre même.
The next day on the 6th.
Sont l'autre même, quoi, à l'hôpital.
I think he was at the hospital.
Formation, à l'hôpital.
Information I received was that he was at the hospital.
So are you aware of any injuries that he suffered?
Ou qu'on concernant aucun blessé que tu gagnes?
Non, juste information, à l'hôpital, pas jamais visite.
I just received information that he was at the hospital but never went to visit or anything.
Do you have the photos? There's photo evidence. Do you have the hard copy? You don't have them? But the hard copy, you have the hard copy? You don't have? Okay. We just want to show you something.
Mm-hmm.
Which he submitted before the commission. So this is the injury that Shabani says he suffered from. Can you see that?
Ça est blessé qui ça prisonnier dit qui tingaye, ou capable voir.
Mm.
Can you see that?
Mm.
Yes.
So, was there any discussion about this injury?
No.
No. Okay. So I'm
Well,
going to
the
ask
formation
you.
question,
I'm
Peter.
going to ask you again. Then we Commissioner Vidot alluded to the same. The testimony that we received in public, and I can put that to you from Mr. Shabani Kizamba, but also from others who were in the foreigners section, is that you came to that part of the section with the soldiers, with the police, and you instructed the police and the soldiers to kill these foreigners because they bring drugs into the country. And it is his testimony that, and maybe this part you can translate. It is his testimony that he was handcuffed with what is this? With Tyrak. And he was also stripped naked. And he was shot, which is why he has that wound. And he was shot in your presence after you gave the instruction that he and other inmates in that section must be killed.
No.
No.
No, this is I.
So this is not true.
No, I cannot give the order. On peut pas donner l'ordre garde avec l'armée. I'm a prison officer.
I am a prison officer. I cannot give order
La
to
po-
army officer and
La
the police.
La police, ils ont une régulation pour eux.
Okay.
The police has their own
L'armée, ils ont
regulation.
dans autre bout.
The army also has their part.
Ils ont dans autre bout. Moi, je ne peux pas donner
So
l'ordre
the-
la force.
Yeah. So
I
the-
cannot give them order.
Non, je ne peux pas donner l'ordre la force.
We need to reduce the traffic. Okay, all right, that's fine. So you are saying that is false.
Non, je ne peux pas donner l'ordre la garde.
You never went to the foreigners section.
Non.
No.
All you did was you went inside the prison to see how far the soldiers and the police had gone. Then you
Return.
then remembered that you have sinuses, and then you came out.
Yeah.
Right.
So
the-
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, there were
Witness.
other prison officers with me.
There were
Other prison officers with me.
other prison officers with you.
Officer.
Sorry, can you?
Prison officer.
Yeah, I want to hear the.
Yes, there was other prison officers with me when I was going out.
Who were they?
Cadence. That time.
Who?
Cadence.
Can we have? Can you spell the name?
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey. You got? Did you get it?
C-A-D-N-C.
Okay. Okay. And you still insist that the only time you went into the male block prison section was on 5 December, and you only went up there to see how far the soldiers and the police had gone, and then you got out.
Yeah, I go
That is the only time you.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't have other questions except that maybe one to do with the Were you carrying a weapon when you went inside?
avec
Tu n'as un teaser.
I had a taser.
You had a taser. What did the soldiers have any weapons?
But
When you went inside and you went to the upper section of the prison, you saw the soldiers. Did they have any weapons?
zam avec zot saban officiers là mais là les outils alors pour guetter.
Les autres là, mais ça distance, oui, moi, c'est noyé, là.
From
On
the distance I was standing,
pen,
yes, I could see in their hands there was
What weapons were they carrying?
qualité zam qui zot chana.
Pourquoi shotgun, ça va quoi?
I think it was shotgun if I'm not mistaken.
Pourquoi shotgun, ça va quoi?
I think it was shotgun.
Did Ivan, Inspector Ivan,
Pourquoi shotgun, ça?
did he have a weapon?
Pardon?
I venture only.
Pas les mal. Les moments pas nous asin pour outil.
I did not even see if Ivan took that
Vous allez
weapon.
tu peux faire non, si les moments les pédé bout, tu peux faire non là. Faire non quantité, faire
It
non.
was really dark
Quantité faire
inside.
non là.
While he was standing
Tu
there,
vas
I
les
could
mettre
not
une casse,
notice.
il peut difficile pour dire comme si ça là doit moi tu étais au faire non, même si tu capable beaucoup si il fait non là.
The area,
Fair
the way it
no,
was,
fair no,
it is really dark.
But
It's
it's a bit
difficult
toast.
for you to see someone.
Pour dans torche couper ma assez pour guetter.
You would have to
Would
use
you
a
have to-
torch for you to walk about to
Okay,
see.
so I want to make sure we understand you well. So the area that you went to in the upper section, it was so dark. Okay, that it was difficult for you to see anything.
Souvent c'est dans torche que je. Torche, tu as
Okay,
des torches,
had-
tu ouvres, tu as des torches.
Torches with them,
Tu as des torches.
you could see the light coming
Wow.
from the torch.
Quand on a beaucoup de torches, on voit un petit là des.
Since there was a lot of torch, you would see the different lights coming from the torch.
Who was holding the torches?
Moi pas beaucoup de garde, tout mélanger.
Officers mixed,
Mélanger, moi pas divide.
as in police officers mixed with.
Okay. So these torches, were they big torches or small torches?
And chitos would be a go tos.
Mélanger, ban mélanger.
It was mixed,
Well, mal-
small ones and the ones the size that he
Pour
was
moi pas
showing with his hand.
focus. Moi quoi, ban torche, moi guetter, qui caille des torches.
But I was not focusing on
torch.
the different types of
Moi wa ban
torches
torche.
that I was seeing, but I saw a couple of torches.
And the place was dark,
Yes.
difficult for you to see.
Difficile pour capable voir.
Non, ouais puis.
You
Fait
see
non comme si vous pas pour un sur moi.
partially.
Ouais.
It's not completely dark
Les il y a beaucoup de torches. Ouais puis ban la des.
because when there are a lot of torch that's light all at once, you would see some features, but not all of it.
Not all of them. Okay. But you saw that prisoners were holding stones.
Mais c'est moi une voix que prisonnier tu peux
Os
envoyer
beaucoup de
chabos.
gars qui plient là-bas. Beaucoup de gars qui plient les. Bon. Ils ont des gars qui éclairés, qui ça bas. Voilà bas.
They were further to the side, and the officers was
C'est
there
toute transaction, c'est
lighting with the torch around the area
Transaction,
where
c'est
they
là.
were, so you were able to see. But most of the transaction, everything was being done further to the side up there. Witness gesturing to the left side.
Okay. All right.
Não tanto tapo, tanto pété, quoi.
You would hear noises. You would hear something
Beaucoup tapage,
popping noise.
C'est tapage.
A lot of noise.
Okay. Okay. You can come in.
Yeah. In fact, one of the kicks was Modi Demadu. I've got two things that I would like to ask you. Earlier, you said that you entered the mid block to go and check inside the guard room.
Puis bon, on dit que
correct?
tu es dans mail block pour
Yes.
the guard room.
You
Yes,
went to
yes.
check
Un petit corridor comme si.
In the small
inside the
corridor.
guard room. And we have heard people say that the OB, the occurrence book, inside the guard room was destroyed. Could you confirm if this was destroyed or not?
Non, pas non, oui.
No, I did not
Oui,
see
pas
that.
non, là-bas.
This I did not see.
Now, you as the person with the security, obviously the OB needs to reflect on your report. Did you receive the occurrence book after the incident?
Non, this is not ça bouton le mot domaine.
No, this
Yeah, but
is not
you-
my domain.
You are the person responsible. Again, we are talking about your responsibility in the security. Yes? You are a person who was all night long looking for information. Now, this is a book that would provide you with so much information. How come you didn't see this book? How come you never saw this book after the incident? For you to pick up information, to provide a report.
Moi, je dis, mon sécurité, le fil, côté mes blocs là, Il y en a son CIA qui en sas.
I
Fait
would
des
say
informations.
it
Côté
again.
mail block là, il pas pour tomber de mon domaine.
I am the
Moi,
security.
mon l'ouvre, c'est mail block, juste pour venir, pour faire l'opération fouiller, les nous avons autorisation pour fouiller, après pour aller.
I'm
Ça qui
responsible
mon-
for the field outside. The only
qui
thing
mon
that
duty.
I have to do with the mail block would be when I have to conduct a search after receiving authorization.
Côté mail block, il y en a son 10 personnes qui en sas. Ça,
There
comment se fait comprendre?
is a CI there, someone
L'opération,
in
c'est
charge.
le fil.
At the
Il y en a
mail.
certaines transactions qui pourraient passer qui ne pas pour connaître.
I am
So, moi,
responsible
mène l'ouvrage qui moment ça get one
for the field,
Comment?
and my
Field?
main job
perimeter.
is the gate one to look over the
Après
perimeter
ban gate.
Okay.
and the gates.
Were you and your section, that is the security section, were you at any time after the incident requested to provide a report for the prison authorities to share with your minister?
Est-ce qu'il y a aucun point pas dans l'État où tu as demandé pour donner un rapport en rapport avec l'incident pour donner avec au ministère?
Mon nom.
Myself,
Pas tomber
no.
mon bout.
It's not in my domain.
Non, non, non. No.
I think let's let that one rest. It's probably for the others. who are
Okay.
coming.
Then my last one is, you see, when Commissioner Justice asked you, when the allegations made against you inside the foreigner section, when you said, allegations I'm talking about, kill those foreigners, they are the ones who carry drugs in the country, they are killing our children. After this was said, there were 6 people that was shot inside this section straight away. There was Shabani, a gentleman called Peter, Jeremiah, another one called Petros, Julius Cat, and another person named Francis. So how do you explain 6 people being shot straight away? What happened? What was those guys doing?
Pourquoi on a combattu là?
Or maybe
I
the
would not
question
know
is,
because
are
I
you
was
aware
not
of-
present.
we know that you said you don't work that set. Maybe the question is, are you aware of 6 inmates in the foreigner section who were severely shot and injured? I mean, there are medical reports which confirm that they were severely injured from shots and so forth. Are you aware of that?
Ou au courant ça ou? Comme quoi tu as 6 parmi ça dans prisonnier là, quand ça c'est choc tu gagnes shoot, ban blessé un peu sérieux.
C'est les formations là même on gagne l'autre.
Information.
Quand les monde vini, les formations on gagne.
I received
Cause,
the information the next day
Quand
when
tu
I
dis moi les
came.
pas qu'on est gars blessé comme là. Ça nest docteur qui fait comme si il y a les autres.
Ordinarily when
moi pas pour connaître.
prisoners are injured like
Pour
this,
venir pour dire moi ça.
the nurse would be made aware of this
Ouais,
information.
quand si pendant un autre bout, nest pour exemple pour là, faire autre. Mon
nurse-
autre main qui m'a cause ça dans l'état là. Tout dit on peut faire bien aller vite. Au moment qui sont venus prison il était ou pas pour ça.
It was only the next day that I was made aware. The nurse would have been made aware because the way things were at that time, people were going in and out, moving up and about. in
Même
the
ça
prison.
l'incident commenté mon après ça là moi là.
Even what you
papier.
just showed me, the incident, it's just now that I found out.
Well, now, can I just finish with asking you, do you carry a watch? Do you carry a watch on your arm?
Wana emot ki ou mette le bas tous les jours.
Non, ça va l'état comme ça pas ça qui là mon fait cadeau pour madame.
I just got
Fais
this
cadeau.
one that I have on
C'est
my
la pas
hand
bonne
as a
l'état.
gift from my wife.
Ça me fait
I
cadeau.
did not had any watches at that time.
Okay. You said that the officers, the military and police officers, were carrying guns, shotguns. You said.
On dit qu'ils ont typé amène ça qui ou ti quoi, il paraît shotgun, ban militaire.
Shotgun, militaire, tu as PSW aussi, tu as.
The PSSW also had shotguns.
Seulement, mon papa focus, quoi.
Okay.
Tout passe, tout physique, mon papa.
But I'm not
It's
really
not safety.
focusing on them when they were passing by.
Did you at any point in time hear gunshots in the prison?
À aucun point pendant l'état, est-ce que tu t'en as coup de fusil dans la prison?
C'est ça, mon tapas, moi, je me suis dit, pit, mon tapas.
These were the noises that I was referring to earlier. These noises.
C'est ça, mon tapas, moi, je me tapas.
That I said that when I was upstairs, that I heard noises. These were these noises.
Ton tapas.
I heard noises.
Petit tapas.
Popping sound.
Gunshots and noises.
Yeah.
Gunshots and noise. They're noises for you.
Gunshot.
Un coup de
You
fusil comme
describe
si tout ça là
gunshots as
est
noise,
catégorisé
like
comme un
just noise.
tapas pour comme si pas
Tapas,
grand affaire.
mais tapas, quand tu tapas, il pas de tapas gunshot. Il y a beaucoup de tapas crier.
It's not
Et quand
just
c'était,
gunshot, but
en train de
crap.
péter.
People
T'as
shouting, popping,
Ouais.
debris,
T'as tapas.
a lot of noise.
Quand tu tapas, non.
A lot of noise there was.
Do you know whether they had grenades with them? Grenades.
Pourquoi c'est ça grenade exode?
Grenade, oui.
There was grenades, yes.
And were grenades being used?
Est-ce que tu as servi? Ça va
Péter,
grenade?
oui. Tu n'as pas péter.
Yes, I
Ça va
heard.
péter, comment je m'entends péter.
I heard the popping noise that I was referring to
Quand déjà
earlier.
servi, dis sûrement, moi quoi, ça pas péter. Moi
I,
connais.
I have never used it before, but judging from the popping noise, the sound, I think it was it.
Okay. So grenades were used and guns were used. And after the incident, you managed to see some of the injuries that were being taken away. Of the injured who were being taken away. Is that
Alors.
correct?
Est-ce qu'il est correct alors ce qui paraît, on dit, on donne son fusil, on donne son grenade, et qui après ça, où tu vois, ben, qui est blessé, peut sortir, peut gagner mener.
Ça ben l'état mon fili sorti. Mon fili mon allé.
During those times, I had already
Ça ben l'état mon fili descend.
got out and went
Mon fili
away.
descend ça ben l'état.
I had already
One sorti.
descended that time and went away.
Mon fili sorti.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I got it wrong.
So, my lot, man.
1 minute. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did you not say early on that you saw some injuries that were serious? Injuries?
Ou pas dire plus bonheur, car corrige ici mal, ou pas dire plus bonheur que tu ne vois ban blessé, y en a qui peut essayer tout.
Non.
No.
Ben go blessé comment là.
Big injuries like that, no.
Mon fili mon allé quelque chose qui passe ben bas après mon fili mon allé.
I
Mon fili mon allé mon viré après mon descend au gate one.
already went upstairs and
So
then
moi après
came back
mon
to
gate
get
one
one.
après mon allé mais mon lot mais les formations mon peut rien. Mon peut donner un baptiste, moi fait la peine souvent. Mon peut
I left, but the next day information that I received,
va
a lot of
expecter si
inmates
quelque
was
chose pas
being
pour ça
beaten,
justement.
and it's
On peut
sad.
get bonne information qui peut entrer.
But while I was watching the information that was coming in,
And
J'espère si ça tu pas comment
I did not suspect that things would happen like that.
Ou même mon
so,
qui fait pas me regarder quelque
so-
chose.
Even myself, it pains my heart to watch these things.
so do you think it was wise to bring in the military for such an operation inside the prison?
Est-ce que alors, vous pensez que c'est sage ou bien une bonne idée pour amener un militaire de prison pour ça l'opération?
Well, pour moi à cause
Okay, just tell me whether you think it was right to bring the military in the prison.
Ou quoi
For
est-ce
such an
bien
operation.
pour amener les autres dans la prison pour sa situation, oui ou bien non?
si moi crois bien, non, moi crois pas.
No, I don't believe so.
And
Bon pas contre situation qui n'arrive à cause mon pas bon
I don't know the
Par
exact
contre,
situation that was happening, but
okay, and do you know that as part of your duties is to provide security to the inmates as well?
à partir de vas-y pour donner sécurité, la prison y a aussi tout pour faire mettre d'autres sécurité aussi tout.
oui côté nous l'ouvrage oui.
Yes, with
Nous
regards
l'ouvrage
to
pour
my
sécurité
work.
versi que donner en sécurité.
Yes, to
Nous
secure
l'ouvrage, oui.
The area to make sure that the prisoners
Pas
is
sécurité pour moi, sécurité prison entière.
the security
Tout
of the
sécurité,
prison
prison
in
entière, c'est
general.
Including the inmates.
Including prisonniers tout
Oui,
comme
tout
ça.
le monde prison sécurité.
Yes, everyone should be in safe and
Okay.
sound.
Dit mon pas pour sortir que sa famille, pour venir dans la prison, pour venir gagner comme ça, automatiquement
Someone would not leave,
il pas joli.
come from
Et un
their
petit mot, tout le monde
family
dans la
member,
prison.
family home
Il
to
gagne
come
comme ça,
and be
vraiment
mistreated. In the prison, it's not
pas joli.
it's not good, beautiful to see things like that.
And as a prison officer, have you ever been instructed or inducted in regards the Mandela rules of how prison should be operated?
On les a gagné aucune information en rapport avec la règle Mandela là, qui a servi dans cette prison. On a expliqué là, là où tu viens comment ça travaille côté prison ou bien là où tu peux travailler pendant côté prison.
Nous explique pas là, pas tout beaucoup le temps.
We were just recently explained
Mandela rules.
about the Mandela rules not long ago.
Okay,
Pas
so
beaucoup,
if it's
souvent.
not long
Not
ago,
much about it.
if it's not long
Ah,
ago, I hope you remember. Actually, Rule 1 of the Mandela rules is that the prison office, the prison should provide security for the prisoners as well.
La règle numéro 1, et c'est que prison est supposé donner sécurité aussi pour les prisonniers.
Yes.
And that they should be treated in a human
Yeah.
and dignified manner.
Et qu'ils ont besoin d'être traités de façon qui est humaine et qui en a dignité, qui montre les autres gagner sa dignité qu'ils ont besoin.
Oui.
And would you consider the killing, the beating, the using guns on inmates as consistent with the Mandela rules?
Est-ce que vous considérez tuer, battre et servir d'armes, fusil, l'urbain prisonnier comme si les autres peuvent suivre ça Mandela, ça la règle Mandela?
Non, pas supposé.
No, it's not supposed to.
So, as a security officer, you failed in your duties because you did not provide the necessary security for the inmates.
Alors, comment les officiers de prison ou pas réussi dans ou devoir à cause ou pas n'a pas capable de donner sa sécurité pour les prisonniers qui sont nécessaires gagner à ça l'état.
Ça l'état pour ça bon l'état pour la prison pas mon commande.
The time that you are
Sécurité, pas
referring to,
beaucoup, sécurité.
things was not under my command at that time.
No, you're second in command as in respect of security.
C'est gain command outside the perimeter with the get one.
No.
Not inside.
Everywhere,
So,
you provide
can I
security.
ask some question?
You provide security for the inmates
Yeah.
as well,
Can I ask some
and
question?
you have to
Okay.
provide them security.
Answer his question first.
Oui. Il suppose en sécurité.
Yes, they are supposed to be in security, safe and sound.
So both you and Inspector Ivan Nicola failed in your duties to provide these inmates with security.
Alors, tous les deux avec inspecteur Ivan Nicolas, ils pas n'a bouffé bien les devoirs à cause de pas donner sa sécurité qui est nécessaire pour sa bonne prison et gagner ça l'état.
Mon cas explique sa question.
Can I explain that question?
Sécurité unit. Je explique pour gagner un peu comprendre là. Moi à cause
Oui,
je
tout.
pas pour connaître comment il y a sa prison était.
For you to gain some
On va expliquer
comprehension
un
of
peu
the
là.
matter, I will
Si mon
explain
cas
a
explique un
bit.
peu là. À cause quand même pour peut expliquer faut des outils de accident pour gagner comprendre qui peut arriver.
Because even if I'm
Parce
trying
que
to
nous pour
explain,
expliquer ou pas pour gagner comprendre, on peut expliquer pour sécurité.
you would
La
need to be
sécurité nous-mêmes
in.
nous manquons
One
système de
minute.
power.
You said even if you explain, we will not understand. So
On
why
va
waste your time?
pour expliquer quoi.
Why
Non,
waste
le
your
côté
time?
sécurité.
1 minute, 1 minute. You said even if you try to
Pas
explain
pour
to
gagner
us,
pour
1 minute. Don't talk. Let me talk, please. You said that even you explain that to us, we will not understand. So why waste our time?
Non, sincèrement, je fais moi expliquer. Non, moi quand même ou vous avez dit bon ou pas pour comprendre, faut des mots, faut des comme si moi explique pour pour
I'm
qu'à
saying
gagner
that
comprendre.
even if you were trying to understand it, you will not. I would have to
Si
explain
moi pas
it to you.
explique ou par contre
If I do not explain it to you, you
so
will
faut de
not
m'expliquer le
understand.
côté sécurité pour comprendre pour qu'à connaître pélo là.
With regards to the security of the
What?
prison, for you to gain some
No,
understanding.
my question was merely whether, okay, you had these inmates that were killed, some seriously injured, and according to the Mandela rules, you have to provide them with security of their person as well. Not only security of the prison, but the entire prison, everyone. So if it happened that people were killed, people were seriously injured, you were in breach of the Mandela rules, and therefore the entire security of the prison failed in their duties.
Ou d'accord avec lui, qui peut dire qu'il est fait qui ou avec ou supérieur, autres pas n'a pas capable pour donner sa sécurité qui prisonnier mérite gagner d'après ça la règlement de là qui dit sécurité autres pas supposé gagner comme si dans prison même besoin de l'école aussi tout besoin de protéger et alors ce qui ça bonne blessé grave n'arrive il y en a qui gars shoot il y en a qui mort. Est-ce que vous êtes d'accord avec lui alors qu'ils n'ont pas réussi dans leur devoir pour donner ça la sécurité qui prisonnier est supposé gagner?
Nous fait pas même pas qui nous n'a pas.
What can I say? We failed. That is as a result of the lack of manpower that we have.
Okay, thank you.
So that can be a reason for failure. But you are saying your view is there was failure there. Is it true, assuming you are correct that there was a riot in the prison, is it true that some of the prisoners did not want to have anything to do with the riot, the so-called riot?
Est-ce que certains prisonniers partis les noms pour faire avec ça bonnes affaires qui peut arriver ça riot?
Yes.
And do you think those who did not want to have anything to do with the riot but who ended up being beaten, injured, some permanently injured, do you think that is fair?
Et pour ça bonne qui paraît ou qui parti les noms pour faire avec ça riot qui gagne battre qui gagne blessé dans la bonne façon est-ce que vous croyez c'est raisonnable ça existe? No.
Okay. Then, lastly, just tell us what you think could have been done differently. What could have been done when you as Sergeant Tony Joe, when you look at this, and let's say you are one day the CP of prisons, and you have the same situation, how would you deal with this situation?
Comparaison qui aussi
On 5 to 6 December, would you do the same thing that was done, or would you do something different, and what would that be?
Il arrive encore quelque chose de similaire ou bien même pareil qui n'arrive les 5 et les 6 qui vous pour choisir pour faire à ça l'état. Est-ce que vous pouvez choisir pour faire quelque chose différemment ou bien même pareil?
On peut comprendre bien ça.
I don't really quite understand well the question. So you are asking him if something happens. Allez, monsieur.
Qui commissionnaire peut demander, c'est que si ou demain ou arriver une commissionnaire prison, ok? Vous avez un tel incident pareil, ça qui est arrivé les 5 et les 6 décembre 2024, ok? On fait dire pour dire ça qui est arrivé si mal, ça qui est fait si mal. Si ou tu commissionnaire prison dans les fêtiers, un tel incident pareil y arrivé, qui méthode tu peux servir ou bien qui tu peux faire pour remédier sa situation?
On pas pour qu'on a cause mon pas de high level.
I would not know because I had not reached that level.
Vous avez une notion ou comme un homme, si ou on voit pour dire ça si mal, qui ou quoi tu capable faire différemment?
As a man, if you saw something was wrong, what do you think?
Vraiment mal.
could have been done
Moi, c'est
differently.
vraiment les cas fait mal.
Yes, it's wrong. It's true. Yes, my heart
À cause
is
moi,
in
mon pas qu'il
pain
est, mon pas.
with regards to the situation that happens. À cause ou pas quoi?
Bon,
Because I am not a killer.
Si mon les cas fait bon.
I have
Il pas-
a faint
Mais
heart,
mon gars, vraiment les
soft
cas
heart,
fait mal.
and when I look at these things, it pains my heart.
Do you have anything to say about the inmates who were terribly injured but did not want to have anything to do with the riot? If you don't have, you can also say I don't have. It's fine. I'm not asking you to.
Ou capable dire si tu n'as pas rien pour faire avec ou bien non, ou
Pardon?
Non, si tu as quelque chose pour dire,
en rapport avec ça.
est-ce que tu as quelque chose pour dire avec ça, bandi moun qui t'y gagne injured, bandi moun qui t'y gagne terribly injured, ou bien bandi les autres moun, est-ce que tu as quelque chose qui, où tu avais envie de dire pour les autres?
Oui. Pour payer comme si ça qui n'est arrivé, comme si moi aussi, moi les cas fait mal. Pour ça, quelque chose qui n'arrive qui, on pas expecter si il pas arrive comme ça.
Looking at what happened, it pains my
Dans mon
heart.
part, qu'il est, moi que ça quelque chose, quand même pas moi qui le fait, mais seulement il est arrivé comme si moi-même, mon demande public l'esquisse.
Even
Si on
if,
pas expecter comme si il voulait me faire la peine, qu'il y a une famille, dans prison, qui ça bandi moun, je peux faire l'état. Pour moi, vrai il y a il y en a un groupe rebelle dans prison. Il y en a un.
so I did not expect things to happen the way it did, even if I am not the one that's directly responsible for the atrocities that happened. But it pains my heart. It saddens me to see the families in prison, the family, all the members of the people that has family members in prison, for them to had gone through the things that they went through.
Il y en a un groupe rebelle.
There are a group of
Oui.
rebels in the prison. Yes, that is true.
Voyez les gens qui innocents.
And it's also true that there are a group also
Ils ont
that
pas
are
fait. Voyez
innocent.
les gens à cause. Bon, connaît. Et puis, il travaille en prison. On dit prison.
Because I'm
Oui,
aware,
il y en a-
I've been working at the prison for a while.
Il y en a un peu qui est innocent, qui n'est pas mérité.
There
Well,
are those that are innocent,
Naive.
that did not
Seulement moi, qui m'a dit, mon connaissance, mon esprit pour moi, comme sécurité, un rayon pour commencer, j'ai une idée. J'ai une idée qui peut diriger ça rayon.
did not need to
Ça,
go through all
l'expérience
of
pour la
that.
sécurité.
Because based on my experience, usually
Ils
when a
gênent un
riot
leader.
starts, there must be a leader, someone
Ils gênent
directing
un
the
leader.
riot.
Comment? Et ça une idée, on pas pour comme pour nom non. À cause d'une into beaucoup.
And that leader, I am not ashamed
Il y a
to
mis Dario dit.
state his name because it's too much now.
À
The
cause-
leader's name is Dario.
Les à cause Dario li l'équipe pour dire comment il y a prison pour marcher.
He's the one that would say how the prison should be run.
Bon, par exemple, là, il pour une prison, les types condamnés, pour si il tient envie de prison donner un sago aussi pour l'assise là-dedans.
I am
J'imagine,
unsure.
à cause là on peut que t'es salé en prison, l'équipe en prison.
If when he got convicted, he expected us to give him that
Salita.
big chair to sat on. And because given the fact that when he started to come to prison, he controlled everything.
Prison, il cache derrière tout ça là.
And he hide behind all of these things.
Mon problème à cause qui mon nom est monté, à cause moi je qui travaille droite, le côté niveau discipline,
Why my name came up is that because I am a person that works, do my work properly in a straight line, and I have discipline.
à cause de mon ouvrage, ce qui m'a fait, mon eu beaucoup de difficultés. À cause, ils m'ont fait, s'il n'y a pas n'importe dans la prison, et quelque chose qui est légal, qui sort de prison, Il y a quelque chose d'illégal qui rentre en prison.
Because the nature of my work, I get a lot of difficulties because I have to make sure nothing illegal enters the prison or vice versa.
Et ça bandi moun, c'est ça quoi d'autres monte le média, tout peut cause la langue là moi. À cause de combien moi hier mon travail, moi je qui doit et mon pas soutirer téléphone de prison.
That's why they went on the media to lie about me because they know that I am a person that
et moi qui
walks on a straight line
avec
and
du monde qui peut
that I
écouter.
seized the
Et moi pour
phones in the
toujours pour la
prison.
guerre pour te téléphone de la prison et pour te dire quelque chose quand tu es dans la
And I
prison.
will say to people who are listening that I will keep on fighting to remove illegal things from the prison as well as phones also.
Yeah, but we must also point out that in this, there are witnesses who are prison wardens who were there inside the prison when the disturbances were starting. And it is their testimony. We can't reveal some of their names, but it is their testimony that that Dario was one of the inmates who came to discourage the other inmates who were at that time agitated and attacking officers. So we just also want to put that into evidence. Then the second point also we're not reopening the session. The other, translate. Okay. Yeah. The other, okay, I'll take that. The other point we want to also just make is you've said something that we have been saying to you, but this is what you are saying, which is that you are in charge of making sure that nothing illegal gets into the prison. So this is what you just told us now, that's my main job. But according to your own testimony, there were a lot of illegal things that went into the prison: machetes, knives, fridges. You said you found them in the prison itself. So you have to also account for that. Even as you say, my job is to make sure that nothing gets into the prison that should not get in there, and I will continue to do that. But let us also acknowledge that you have failed to do that in the past. That is your own admission, because you are the one who told us a list of things that you found from the prison. But also you conducted a search in the absence of other inmates. That's your own testimony. And then when those things were found, there was no investigation that was done to hold any inmate accountable for those things. That's your testimony. So without those elements, your closing remarks would not have the proper context. So we need to just put that into context as well. Just a moment. I don't understand.
Excuse. He was asking for excuse to the people what happened on that night. Right?
Do you want to ask him a question?
Okay.
Because I don't understand.
Okay. César, pour nous terminer, si mon écoute bien mon temps d'où les temps où tu peux faire un testimony qui pan pick-up là-bas, où tu dis ou peut demander l'excuse avec les pipes, où tu peux demander l'excuse avec les pipes pour quoi qu'il n'est arrivé ça jour au prison. Est-ce que vous confirmez où tu dis ça?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you, in your evidence, you stated that you are asking the people, you are apologizing to the people for what happened at the prison, yes?
Okay. No, thank you for bringing that up. I don't know. I missed that in the.
Yeah, but he
So
said
it was
something
because I thought you were just acknowledging that it was bad. So you are apologizing.
But he also said that he was not responsible.
Okay.
Even though he's not, he is apologizing.
So you are not
That was
responsible,
together,
but you are
yes.
apologizing.
Yeah, because I'm president of visa.
Okay.
Moi, garde prison hier, moi. Pour moi, les mots puissants, mon putain la bonne
Okay.
quelque chose.
Okay. No. I think that's well noted. Let's close this one. Thank you very much, Sergeant Tony Joe, for coming forward. I think so far this is the longest testimony, right? Thank you for coming forward and for answering our questions. We may come back to you if there are any further questions that we have for you. At the same time, if you have any piece of information that you have not shared with us, or piece of information that you think you need to correct or clarify, please get in touch with the Secretary for the Commission so that you may give that evidence. We also just want to remind you of your rights. You have a right not to be intimidated, not to be threatened, not to be victimized by anyone for the testimony you have given. It is a criminal offense for anyone to attack you, to victimize you in any way, to harass your family or anybody connected to you as retribution for the testimony that you have given. It is important that everyone must allow the law to take its course, and surely those responsible for wrongdoing will account for what they have done. Should you experience any victimization, any retribution, please file a complaint with us. We will investigate and take appropriate actions to make sure that whoever harasses you or harasses your family or intimidates you or victimizes you in any way is brought to justice. At the same time, you have the same obligation to refrain from harassing, intimidating, or influencing anyone who is going to come to this testimony. I know that during the testimony itself, there are references to witnesses who have come here publicly and given evidence against you. And that's the point for hearings. We have to tell you that there are allegations that have been made against you. So we told you, and in some cases we told you who made those allegations. I want to remind you that you are strongly warned against challenging those people and asking them why they gave evidence against you or why they accused you. You are not in any way allowed to have contact with those witnesses. So avoid talking to them, avoid having discussions with them, particularly about their testimony here, because that may also be interpreted as you trying to influence and trying to victimize witnesses who have come here. Is that clear? Thank you. So I'm just saying this so that you understand that you have rights, but you also have obligations. So thank you very much. We need to briefly discuss but about the program for the rest of the day. But to my knowledge, the next testimonies scheduled for today are in camera, right? Which means they are outside of broadcast. So this is, so I can safely confirm that this is the end of broadcasting for today. And tomorrow we are not. So tomorrow we are not broadcasting. Okay, so when are we coming back? Friday. We are coming back on Friday, right? And I think it is important for us to say these schedules change from time to time because of the sensitivities of the issues that we are handling. So sometimes we have to handle issues behind the scenes and conduct mini investigations here and there. So the schedule may change. The secretary will inform the media on the revised and updated program for Friday. Otherwise, thank you very much, and you may remain seated for now.